Good evening. Welcome to another episode of the Power Hour. I am Steve. Of course, as always, joined by my partner, the urban sensation, the icon, NWA superstar, C-Red.
Just see red.
The original soul toucher, as you call yourself.
I am.
And of course, tonight this is the penultimate episode of the Power Hour for this year. Next week is our season finale. So we're bringing on some of our friends from the JFW podcast. PX will be joining us later to talk about the super wrestlers. And joining us now is none other than Travis T. And
I don't know what that word is you're using.
Based on popular demand, our favorite amphibian, the turtle, has strong-armed his way onto the program tonight as well. Hello.
Hey, I felt a little lonely. So
gotta get your shit in, brother.
I gotta get my shit in. I mean, someone's gotta do it.
That's okay. We'll make a few comments about Primetime Pimp and Paulie Tomaselli, and then after the first year, Paulie will be on rebutting everything the turtle says.
Yeah.
That is the cycle we have chosen. But we would not have a show tonight without our very special guest. And recreation and rebirth is a great thing in the sport of wrestling. And we welcome for the first time on podcast, I think, Cutthroat, Drew Bronson. Mr. Bronson, thank you for taking time out of your schedule to join our little shindig here.
Thank you for having me, Steve. Yes, this is the first time I've done an interview as this person, as the real me, not as who I used to be.
Let's talk about that just for a minute. I mean, obviously, your character, Hot Rod Daddy Andy, has been around for quite a few years now and has developed quite a reputation in the Midwest. You did well. You worked a lot of places and you were successful. Many titles, along the way, IPW, Frontline, etc. What is it about the timing now that makes you recreate yourself in a different way?
So I think I've told this story on here before. Like when I first moved out here, I did a lot of studying. I came and went to a lot of different places, and I just kind of wanted to know what was happening out here and what type of wrestlers were out here. So I kind of made that character up on the spot with some friends, actually Michael, Melanie, and Rachel over at their house. And one thing led to another, and 4 years passed by, and I ended up kind of strung into a goofy character that really wasn't my vibe. It wasn't me. But I did it because, like in wrestling, you got to be a good soldier places you go. So I'm not going to deny that I didn't have fun. I'm not going to deny that the character wasn't good for me because it did teach me a lot. But like, I also knew I couldn't mentally do that forever. And I physically didn't want to do that forever. So it actually took Rion, I think, and Rion and Chano and Braun were the first 3 people I went to with this, and they kind of just let it loose. So it's been fun.
Now, obviously, in the business of wrestling, and Red will preach on this all day, variety is sometimes a good thing. And we've seen it, across the board. I mean, from the ringmaster to Stone Cold Steve Austin, from there have just been so many people that have made significant changes. What do they call the Rock? What was the Rock?
Rocky Maivia.
Yeah,
Rocky Maivia. But think about it. You're about to do a show with the guy who we talked about it last week. He went through 4 gimmicks. So he started out as Papa Shango, then he turned around, he became a Karma, and then he became a member. They vaguely referred to him as Karma, but he was a member of the Nation, and then he became the Godfather. So
good father too. He's good father-in-law, right to censor.
So
Yep.
right there, I forgot about that. There you go.
Oh yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Saturday at Frontline, we'll be working with a man that reinvented himself more than once. And one of my questions is what I just asked you is going to be one of the questions I asked him. What made you do it? And I think the answers can be compelling. I think for him, it's probably going to be, well, the WWE decided that this character had run its course and they wanted to go a new direction because in those days, you know, you weren't necessarily given the freedom to come up with your own gimmicks. You were given gimmicks where you worked. I mean, that's
Yeah.
pretty hard to say, right?
Yeah, and to a point, and probably what's going to be part of my answer too is when he got to do some of the things he did do, then some of the things he liked, it's because he got to do it naturally. Like it was him. Like he was a bouncer, I believe, at one point, Godfather. So the comic character wasn't. I mean, obviously that was like a UFC mixed character, so it wasn't too much of a difference from who he kind of was outside of that. And then when he became the Godfather, obviously during that time period, like the whole like I guess you can just call it like pimp like thing was like super cool. And it was his vibe. And again, my answer is probably going to be that same kind of thing. Like uh, I was happy being Hot Rod. I was happy being Andy, but this me is like who I vibe with. It's like more natural for me to act this way. It's more natural for me to be the more like methodical, slow paced, like kind of pick you apart thing. It allows me to showcase a lot more as like a lot more things about me than just like the goofy underdog character that I was.
Stone Cold Daddy Andy, as I will affectionately refer to you every now and again, if our paths cross on commentary. You know, I with Rabid Wrestling being a very passion project for you, how does Cutthroat Drew Bronson factor in to that very flamboyant, story-driven promotion?
Well, it's going to be the realism that it needs because you know we're fighting wizards and cavemen and spacemen and dragons and stuff. So there's got to be a person in there to kind of level all the craziness out. And who better than the person who's creating all that craziness being me? Like I'm made basically almost every character. There was like a couple that Tobias had made, but like I wrote and created every single character for these people. So, and I was one of those people with my other character, but now I've kind of had to reel myself in, and now I'm going to be the sense of realism in the craziness.
So you're just gonna walk into that ring and beat up a unicorn and maybe knock the horns off a devil or something.
I'll fight a unicorn. I'll beat a genie up. I'll fight cavemen. I'll fight whatever I come up with in the next.
Can you beat up a turtle if we need you to?
Yeah. We'll make him in, but we're going to call him like we'll call him like tortoise or something. And we'll make him something different. We'll give him something.
Tortoise La Grande from
Yeah.
the
Oh my God.
order.
Yes. Can we do that?
Come on, Turtle's a whore. He'll work anywhere.
He didn't say no.
I didn't say no.
He never says no.
Turtle LeGrande. I'll remember that.
See, we're creating magic right here, right now. So now that you're promoting and wrestling and kind of bringing it full circle, has the definition and the vibe of wrestling changed for you completely? Now that not only are you doing behind the scenes, but you're doing in front of the scenes, you're everywhere.
Yeah, I've kind of started putting my hands into every single like bucket now, I guess. I've talked to you like personally. I've talked to a few other people personally. Like at the beginning of the year, up until about maybe even last month, I wasn't like doing so hot mentally. Like mentally, I was kind of on the verge of just being done with this. And I'm the kind of person where if I'm not having fun anymore, I don't want to do it because if I can't have fun doing it, what's the point doing it at all? So I came pretty close and I was going to just hang it up and not do any wrestling and just write, make everyone else do the wrestling and just sit back and watch because I personally wasn't having fun. But I'm sure we'll talk about it later. But the whooping I took at IPW and then the talk I had a couple weeks prior to that with a couple people have kind of like pushed me into a better headspace when it comes to wrestling. And now that I'm mentally where I'm at, it feels a lot easier for me to like talk to everybody around me. I'm able to I feel better, and I feel like I actually know my position a lot more than I did uh the entire year. Like I know who I am more now than I've ever known who I was since I've started wrestling.
You've kind of found your identity again.
Yeah, it took a while because I lost it for a minute, and like I said, if I don't have fun, I don't do it anymore, and I don't want to lose something like this because, like I told this again, I've told this story a bunch of times. Prior to this, I was a musician. Prior to that, I was skateboarding for 16 years, trying to get sponsored, had all that stuff. I lost that because of injury. I lost music because I didn't have a passion for it anymore. But like all I've really known is how to do the entertainment. And when I didn't have fun with either one of those things, I lost it even after putting so much time into it. And this was kind of like the last thing on that checklist as a kid. Like I wanted to be a wrestler. I wanted to be a pro skateboarder. I wanted to be a musician. And I lost two of those things. And now this is what I got left. So I'm working at holding on to this like happiness or finding this happiness all over again as hard as I can.
The last straw of
It
Stone
feels
Cold
like that.
Daddy Andy. I love it. That might be the name of the podcast tonight. So you spoke about the ass kicking at IPW. Uh, that's a nice segue because we're going to talk a lot about Marche Rocket tonight in many different ways. Um, Having a match against someone like that has to be a great career opportunity. What was your head like going into a match like that? Someone like Marche Rocket that you know so well, that everybody knows so well, that is at the top of the industry. And now here he is. He's your opponent at a show that he's hosting. It's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, it was. And we had talked a lot the show prior. And like again, that was kind of helping me get into the headspace. Honestly, and like I came to the realization that every other time I've ever shared a ring with Marche, he's like never touched me. He's never like popped me with any of those chops. So that was the first thing that came to my mind. I was like, shit, this man's going to want to hit me. I'm going to have to get into this ring and he's going to chop me and I'm going to chop him back. Because that was a mentality I got too. I was like, I'm I wanted to let him know, like, hey, this is going to be like me putting everything I can into this. And I'm sure he put everything he could into it too. And my mentality when I got to that building that day was I'm just going to make sure I can hear everything he says. Like there was moments where my brain just kind of shut off and I was in motion and I was doing the things I remembered, but I was also doing the things I was hearing. And I think I told Mark this personally, like there was times in that match, not that I like blacked out from being injured or anything like that, but I just felt like I was going. I don't know if there was like anyone who saw like a look on my face or anything like that, but there were just points in that match where uh it wasn't so much that it was like muscle memory or like just plain memory of remembering what we had like thought up for this, but it was just more like I kind of just vibed again. Vibe is a huge thing of my wrestling, but I felt like everything I was doing was like the precise thing that had to be done, the right motions that had to be done, the right moves, the right like amount of effort. Every single thing felt normal and natural, but it just had the added effect of being a lot more painful because it was with Marche, which is a good pain because I do ask everyone I wrestle, like, hey, hit me because I need to like feel this to give you the best out of it that I can. So there's that answer.
So you took the chops. You were ready for those chops.
Yeah, I was also ready
But
to give him back too, and I hope I gave him it just as good as he gave it to me.
so I want to take you back to that moment where he throws you up against the turnbuckle and he spreads you out and he gets you ready to do that
Pause.
knife edge.
That's
Shut up,
weird.
Travis. You know what I'm talking about. We're talking about a Marche chop. not your sick fantasies. Travis is a porn addict, so we gotta bring Travis off that track.
Whoa.
Turtle's laughing too. Turtle's laughing.
Enthusiast, okay? There's a difference.
When that knife edge chop is coming in, before how long does that seem? Because at one point, Marche chopped me on the Last Man Standing show. He chopped me twice, and I couldn't feel my nipples for 3 days after those chops, because the first chop hit me in one nipple and I thought he cut it off. And then the second one hit the other one. And then I blacked out. So I know what I thought when those things were coming in. I thought I had made a bad decision. What about you? What were you thinking when you knew it was time to meet your maker when it came to those chops?
That I hoped all these years of having my chest be like chopped or beaten, that it was calloused enough to absorb the shot. I feel like I saw his hand come at me the first time in slow motion, and then when it hit me, my lungs completely opened up with air.
What was going through your mind when that impact happened? Were you kind of grading it like, is this the worst pain I've ever felt? Were you like, my God, I just got chopped by Marche? I mean, it's kind of like a cool thing in this business when you think about it. I mean, I know Joe Hendry's thinking about it.
Yeah, I felt like I kind of got like had a block of concrete dropped on my chest. And like I said, it did open my lungs up when he hit me, and that felt great. But like, I knew I had to go, because if I just sat there and thought about the fact that he had whacked me that hard, I probably would have just went down and not got up, because he does hit really hard. Like, I don't want to, like, what's the word I'm trying to, like, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but like, anyone who wrestles Marche after like the Hendry and after like I have, whoever he wrestles next and he chops, just like know that it hurts and it's gonna suck for you, and you just gotta absorb it and hit him back.
Red, speak about the Marche chop, because the world is going to start talking about it, because when Rocket Pro puts out that video and we see that first chop on Joe Hendry, and we get a look at Joe Hendry's face as he reacts to that chop, like we reacted to it on commentary. Tell us a little bit about the history of Marche's chops.
I mean, shit, he's been chopping like that for 20 years.
Yep.
That's just, I can't say where or how. It was just something that he learned how to do. And the sad part is, when he started, he was probably a little bit lighter, only because of his size. Now that Marche has put on quite the size and a lot of muscle, there is force behind there. So when you get chopped by Marche, like, if you were tired, or you were out of wind, or you were like, okay, I know this is coming, but I got it. Like, he would snap your ass back into reality. And I think Joe had he realized at that moment, it was that moment he realized he fucked up. I think, he was like, oh no, this guy, he's real.
We're not doing that anymore.
It's
Right.
never fun when you have to come to the realization that you fucked up from a hit. Like, it is never fun that it's that late that you had to come to that realization. Like, I wish I had knew a little bit beforehand, but like, and I'm sure Joe Hendry wish he knew a little bit beforehand. But
I hope they caught the reaction on video the moment the pain hit, because when you get that chop, the pain comes. There's like a second delay before your receptors realize what has just happened. At least that's my experience. And the look on his face when that chop registered, and then he felt it, it was one of the greatest. I hope they get that, and I hope they put it on a t-shirt, because it was remarkable. I mean, he sold it beautifully, but how can you not? You can't no sell a Marche chop. It's just you're a human being getting sliced in the chest. You have to react naturally.
There is no selling. It's real. If there's anything super real in wrestling, it's the chop from Marche style. Like, you have to do it. Just happens.
Every show I do commentary on, whether it be Wisconsin or here, whenever somebody lands a good chop, like Sierra and Warhorse were doing a match at Frontline, and Warhorse hit a vicious chop on Sierra, and it was loud. It echoed the arena, and the crowd went ooh. And I said, "You hear that, guys? Somewhere Marche Rocket is smiling." And after the show's over, the people I work with say, "What do you mean by that?" There's just something about a Marche Rocket chop that I think is different and on a higher plane than just about everybody else. I don't think I've ever heard a chop louder than one delivered by Marche Rocket anywhere I've been in the last 12 years.
And now let's hope neither one of us has to ever feel it again.
Right. Well, I suspect you're gonna. You're gonna find a way to get there again. I think, Drew.
You first. You first.
Nope. No.
We're gonna have it. I'm gonna make sure we
chopped?
have a no chop match.
Right. Have you ever been chopped by Marche?
Oh, hell yeah. The crazy part on my end, when I still worked for GPW, so we did a match where it was me and Willie versus Marche, and I forget the kid's name. But we made it. No.
Renvar the Viking.
No, I can picture the kid like he's no longer in the business. But
Jake Andrews.
That's who it was. Jake Andrews. So the story was we had messed with Jake's car, and Jake couldn't get to the show. So Marche either had to forfeit or it was 2-on-1. And so me and Willie, we wore hoodies, we wore bandanas, we wore like we looked like a tag team.
Hey, Brian, do you have all your stuff? Okay, sorry about that. I had to momentarily parent.
You had to parent for a second.
Don't
feel bad. I just found out I'm gonna be a granddaddy again.
Jesus
literally.
Christ, Red, will you tell them to stop? What the fuck?
Hey, it ain't my pocket.
What do you need?
So breaking news, ladies and gentlemen, again. I'm gonna be a granddaddy.
We still don't know how many fucking kids you have out there, though.
This is every episode.
I think there's still about 15 that you haven't met yet.
Hey, I ain't trying at this point in life.
My theory is at some point Travis is going to marry somebody that has a kid by you, which I think would be just a fantastic story.
What you're saying is, like C-Red might actually be like Papa Dudley. Like he went through the 50 states.
Hey, so
51
anyway,
Alaska or
like Tears for Fears, Red sowed the seeds of love for many years.
Everybody wants to rule the world. So the secret to the match was I wore my bulletproof vest under my hoodie, and I didn't reveal it until I got in the ring with Marche.
You coward.
So I took it off. I took my hoodie off, and I was like, yeah.
Coward.
No, wasn't no coward. Because the bad part was you would have thought it would have absorbed some of the shot. No.
No, you just added a steel plate to his hand.
So that was chop one. Then he rips, because it's nothing but Velcro that's holding it together. He rips all the Velcro off, and now it's just me. And he goes to the 3 other corners, lighting me up. So I have to take 4 chops consecutively, and it was like, the first one was like, oh shit, okay, it didn't hurt as bad, okay, but when he took that damn vest off, the second one was like, so what am I doing with my life right now? Why am I doing this? Couldn't I be a chef? Shouldn't I be at the concession stand selling hot dogs? There's got to be a better future for me.
That make you a wiener magnet?
I needed to do something because by the time that fourth one came, I was like, Willie, the rest of the match is all you, bro.
He took your
Go
bumps.
ahead. Go ahead. I'm good. But there's nothing like you getting a chop from Marche, and it trust me, you know, when you've been chopped, and the first thing you look for is blood. You look down, and as my chest cracked open. So so for Drew and now Joe and anybody else,
and Jordan Cross. Jordan Cross bled.
God, yeah.
Oh,
That was
well,
instant. Oh my God. He got lit up yesterday by one, and I think you pointed it out to me, Steve. He already had like just a blood mark right there on his, like right here on his chest, just a blood mark from one chop.
That was the educated fingers of the new super wrestler Hot Kazooie. It was vicious. It was vicious. Joining
And
us
then he
now, of
danced
course.
away after he did it, by the way.
Indeed, he did. Dance a lot of dancing, a lot of soul training with Hot Kazooie. We'll get into that later. There is Rion Skills is here. Hello, Rion. I'm wondering if Rion is near the Treon Skills. I wonder if the Treon Skills has found its way home with Rion.
That's fair.
Because you have to, I mean, I have to believe that's in his house at this point, right? It wouldn't be fair if Treon Skills didn't go home with Rion Skills.
Can we start marking?
All I know is PX got his ass kicked because he made a Christmas tree out of Rion, which I really enjoyed.
I think he took it back to work. I think he did.
He should get mini trees next year for Treon Skills.
A fleet of mini Treons. Yes.
Yeah, sell it at the
Sell
merch
them.
table.
Yeah, sell them at the show. $5 a tree. Take your own Treon Skills home.
Oh yeah, good idea.
Drew, not Andy, Drew.
Yes.
Tell us about the state of Rabid Brewing. When can we expect the second show from this new company that did very well in their first show?
It was very fun. I don't have an exact date, but we are starting up again. Actually, next month. I just realized it's almost January already. So we are starting back up. We're going to be working on getting all the things put together. There might be some new venues. There's some closer than others, but yeah, everything really starts back up again next year.
Is it still going to have the medieval theme, or is it going to change from what it was initially?
I like to think it's more like D&D themed.
Okay, that's what I meant.
Yeah. It's going to stay D&D themed. I'm working up different match types. I've kind of got a couple things in mind of what I want to do. I'm trying to actually create an entire new match for this company. So hopefully I can get it written out and write the rules right. And once we do it, maybe it'll catch on to be something cool that other places can do.
Well, we know C-Red was a level 7 dungeon master back in the day, right, Red?
Probably level 6.
And we know Travis is playing Dungeons and Dragons to this day. Right, Travis?
Oh yeah, dude. I'm a barbarian dwarf.
See, everyone does something nerdy. If it's not Dungeons and Dragons, it's Skyrim, or it's
I used to play D&D weekly up until the guy who was the dungeon master unfortunately passed away. RIP to him. But we used to every week, I think it was Tuesday night or Wednesday night, they'd come over to my house and for 3-4 hours. They didn't like me because I tried to make it too like realistic in a sense, and like I kept selling shit off. Like, how much can I get for this? And like, oh, it's worth 20,000 Google snorts or whatever the hell they would say the currency is. I'm like, what's that in real dollars?
Snort.
I don't know. Listen, I'm just like, and what's that in real dollars though?
It sounds like something
give me a dollar
value. Pocket.
And there was this one woman, and I don't know what it is, but like she had this weird like thing with her where if she gets too angry, she could like blow up the universe or something, which I thought was dorky, but whatever. So like she always had to be calm. and I found this mystical thing, this piece of jewelry or whatever. And we went into the city. And I was like, I'm gonna sell this motherfucker. I'm not gonna use this. And then she got all pissed off, and she's like, "Do you have any idea what that does?" I'm like, "Do you?" And she's like, well, maybe down the line we want like, then buy it for me. I'll sell it to you for twice as many Google snorts as this guy in this shop was willing to do it. So they didn't really care for me that much. I mostly did just so I could you know, you know, sleep with ogre women and get drunk. But I
And
was.
see,
I go on,
go
what's
ahead.
that?
Keep going. I was gonna say, and
Oh,
see, like in just what you have said, the
mhm.
best part about D&D or any kind of like role playing type game like that, like you can associate any of what you just said into a wrestling story. Like any of what you just said could be some kind of pro wrestling story. You take something from this woman who can blow up because she needs it to stay calm, but you took it from her. That's a big heel move. And now you're trying to sell it back to her. That's a really dick move as a heel. She's a huge face right now because she's trying to get the thing back to make sure she doesn't destroy the world.
well,
She wrote a
well,
pro
and
wrestling story.
well, because the whole idea was because when we originally started out, it was me and my buddy Colin, and it was just us. And this dude came in and kind of like got us started, got our characters together. Which I really was a barbarian troll or dwarf, or it was a small guy. I can't remember which one it was, but it was a barbarian, whatever this is. I think dwarf.
It just feels right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Whatever I could do to have power, like the mythical side of it, I didn't care. I wanted power. So barbarian dwarf, I think, is what I went with. And it was me and my buddy, and he went the whole Doctor Strange way of doing it. And we just broke out of prison. We showed up in this land on this boat, and that's where our story began. So my whole thing is like I'm blowing through towns, I'm pillaging what I can, and I'm selling what I got.
Is this
That was
why
our
the
thing.
fourth mother box hates you?
Oh, fuck those guys. They're idiots. Who cares?
Makes for a great wrestling story, doesn't it?
Yeah, I would love to get back into D&D. I just don't have I don't have the knowledge enough to like say, hey, let's get a bunch of people together and do it. I was the one that joined in. I don't have the knowledge to sit there and try to create something like that myself. But I would love to get into D&D again.
I don't know how far away you live from Homewood, but on
35, 40 minutes.
as I say, on Sundays, this is a brewery too. So on Sundays at like 5, they do Dungeons and Dragons, and then they have beers and stuff like that too. So they do it all at the brewery every Sunday.
I see now I heard about that because I was talking to again my buddy Colin, he's the one that got me into this stuff. And we were talking about doing that. We just weren't quite sure if it was something we could just go and join in at, or if you have to
Oh, yeah.
create your own kind of group. Because I haven't been there yet. I want to get to not only a wrestling show, but I want to get to this brewery because it sounds amazing. And a friend of mine, Michelle, her and her husband were thinking about looking into doing something like this too. So we were thinking going there and doing that, but we don't have a dungeon master. That's our biggest thing. So we weren't quite sure if we could join in with people from like us starting at one point or not, or how everything worked as far as the Sunday nights. If it was like a league, I guess to say.
So they usually provide the dungeon master, so there's always
Okay.
one there. But like, yeah, it's just they usually just do like the one-off shots. So you go in there, you can get that story, and sometimes if the story is good, they'll continue it next week, and so on and so forth.
Okay. So is it just one big like journey? Or is there several different like groups? Is it just one
It's
dungeon master and everyone's
one
in?
big old journey with
Man,
people.
okay. I'm in.
I just
See,
want to interject here
Yeah.
because sometimes you can judge a book by the cover. I had no idea that Travis was a Dungeons and Dragons player. I just knew because he looks like a hermit in his parents' basement that it was true. I had no idea that this was actually a fucking thing. Travis, you
Listen.
fucking idiot.
First off,
I can't believe I'm right. Oh my God.
I'm on the second story of my own house, bro. Ease up on the basement shit. I have a mortgage. Secondly,
You are 6 inches away from PX.
Secondly, I broaden my horizons and I'm willing to try different new things. That's why I love drinking beer at bonfires, but I also like going wine tasting in Northwest Michigan. I like doing D&D, but I also like shooting pool apart. I'm never going to say that I'm not open to the idea of trying shit. And D&D is an entertaining thing. Isn't that what professional wrestling is?
Yep,
Just using our imagination to go through adventures.
All wrestling is one big ass RPG.
Yeah.
One big
we are all.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, how many of us haven't played Grand Theft Auto at one point? It's the same concept. The only thing is with D&D is you're creating your own story rather than following whatever Rockstar Games put together. Yeah. So if it makes me a nerd, then hey, so be it. I'm fine with that. But
you are not a nerd. You are a muscular ogre.
A barbarian ogre,
and whatever it is, whatever it has to be.
Yeah. And nerd or not, like I love D&D. Fuck Star Wars. I'll never get into that dog shit. But
all right, now we're gonna fight. Now
why?
on commentary Rock and Roll, we're gonna fight.
Yeah, we won't. Why? Because you like Star Wars? It's not my fault. You like garbage. It's not my fault.
You do not disrespect the trilogy on this show.
If it was good, I would like it, but it's not good. It's right up there with Lord of the Rings. It says
we're about to say goodbye to Travis now. Travis, thanks for joining us.
Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy. I don't have to go on. I don't have to go on to my show next Monday and say some shit that you'd have to lie about what I said in order to get C-Red on your side. I will maybe believe you because he won't hear me. Just to have somebody's girlfriend, fiance, I'm not sure where Rachel is in her life, and her just to believe you too because she won't listen. And then I'm the bad guy again. I'm the asshole. Where'd Rion go? See, now he's not here to back me up. Anyways, yes, I love D&D. I'm gonna have to check this place out on Sunday. I'm gonna have to do it definitely.
That is pretty cool. All right, let's move on with. First of all, Turtle, you've been very quiet. Do you have any questions for Mr. Bronson? Because obviously,
side tangent. By the way,
what now?
I said that was a crazy side tangent. By the way, we just went
really
off.
Well,
clearly, you're not a fan of JFW. Half the show is me bitching about something unrelated to whatever we're doing. Or Pac-Man.
I am uneducated to a lot of wrestling that happened in this area before, almost 5 years ago. I'm not from here, so I don't know. All I hear about is like the Windy City stuff from people like Marche or people from like Red or like Shogun. So it's kind of like I'm getting like an ancient Roman text of what wrestling is out here as I go along.
Well, and those are the best people to kind of learn it from. Obviously, like C-Red. I learned a lot from C-Red when we sat down and did our 4-hour-long interview, which is available on JFW Podcast YouTube channel, by the way. Learning about his career up until today. And then obviously we're going to do a part 2. We already talked about that on Saturday. We're going to do a part 2 sometime next year to get more in that. But I did it with Ivan as well. And JFW, the podcast has been around for 7 years, but it's all current up-to-date shit. So you're not going to learn anything from the past from my stuff. It's just entertaining as fuck to hear me talk.
I mean, some might say.
No, everyone says it. I've never had one person come to me and say, man, I love listening to your show, but you're kind of boring on it. Fuck no. They love it.
Even your best friend.
Even my best friend, 3-time SCW heavyweight champion, longest reigning. Max Holiday, my best friend.
You can't argue with logic. Turtle, do you have any questions for Mr. Bronson? I mean, you being a pro wrestler yourself, despite what Paulie Tomaselli might have you believe.
Yeah. Actually, I do. So we've had a discussion about, why you changed the gimmick. When we had that little bit of a talk outside. But my question is, why the name? What made you come up with Drew Bronson?
So actually, this was something that was given to me from where I started in wrestling. I don't know how everyone was trained out here, but I was always told to go by something you would answer to or something you would recognize. So I'm not going to have named myself like Steve or John because neither one of those names are like. Name. Yeah, I know, but I don't. So that's not a name I would respond to because it's not like me, but like Andrew, Andy, Drew.
I got it. That makes sense.
So those are names I respond to. So I put the Drew on there, and then there was like a gangster or a gang member in the UK. They made a movie about him. Tom Hardy was in it. It was called Bronson, and I was like really into that at the time when it came out. And I was like, dude, this guy's badass. He's fucking crazy. Like he was not right in the head, but I really liked the name. So I was like, I'm just gonna slap that name on there and see what my trainer thought about it. And he really liked it. He liked the character.
Trainer. Who's your trainer?
My trainer's name was Steve Hardy. He was Delaware. It's one state championship wrestling, first state championship wrestling. And then I went over to EWA. I was trained. I forgot the dude's fucking real name. I just know his name is Jim. And I forgot his last name. And
I was talking to some people today that said that's not necessarily true.
What is not necessarily true?
I heard that's not who trained you.
No, it is who trained me. I've got the photo evidence I can show you later if you need to.
All right. The parties that made this accusation, they must have set me up for a joke. So
Probably.
You're questioning the fucking dude.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. Like,
hey, I got people offering me questions to ask guests all the time.
Hey, who trained you? Oh, so and so did. Not what I heard. No,
Right.
not what I heard, buddy.
They said he's going to say that Jim trained him, and that's just not true. And I'm like, well, I'll ask him, but we'll see what he says.
that's crazy. I'll show you the photos after this.
You got to watch who you work with and where you work, and all the shenanigans and the people around you.
Yeah, there are a lot of people around me I've learned not to trust, and it's not the worst thing to not have a lot of friends in wrestling, but it's not the best thing to not have a lot. It's just learning how to work that edge, and I kind of push that edge a lot because I'm not the kind of person to just sit back and let shit happen. I'm pretty confrontational when I get to a point where I know I'm right about something. Like there's no stopping me from defending that I'm right, and that's gotten me often in a lot of trouble.
So we'll call your trainer Jim for now until proven otherwise. We'll get back.
You can call him whoever you want, but whoever had asked you the question is a bit of a dumbass. So,
Okay, so I've been muted this entire time, but I just want you to know that Andrew gets in trouble for it the most at home.
All right. Before we go on, everybody on the count of 3, repeat after me. 1, 2, 3.
Wait, what are we saying?
Hey, girl, hey.
You gotta tell us what you're gonna say.
Hey, girl, hey.
Say something without telling us to say it.
Yeah.
I said repeat after me, and you guys
Yeah, but
Red
wait,
did. Red's the only one that understood the assignment.
Hey, Rachel.
Hello. Yeah, so
Captain
Andrew gets in
Roger.
trouble the most at home for not backing down when he thinks he's right. And for 2, who's talking shit in your ear, Steve?
You know what?
Steve.
I have sources that wish to remain nameless.
I don't give a shit what they wish to remain.
We'll keep it off the podcast for the sake of the mystery person.
We'll talk about this later.
Also, I came into Andrew saying that he was told to choose something that he would answer to, and he goes like with Andy and Drew. Meanwhile, I answered to Cactus. So quite a difference here.
Quite a difference indeed. So 2024, Drew, has been kind of a transformative year for you. You've had ups, you've had downs, you've had some great matches. We'll talk more about the Marche match in a moment. Going into 2025, do you feel a sense of optimism about where you're headed?
Yeah, I mean, I clearly like who I am now more than I did 2 months ago, if that makes any sense. Like, I know what kind of wrestler I am. I know what my style is. I know what story I have to tell every time I get into a ring. And I know that I've been training long enough to know that I'm not just the goofy underdog character that I've had to portray for so long. But I don't know. I'm currently at the moment not thinking about that. I'm just trying to kind of give myself like a little moment because just trying to keep my head pretty level after the crazy ass statement you made. Maybe I'll go to the JFW podcast.
You totally should. You totally should.
I'll piss you off, but I won't question anything you fucking say. I'll be honest with you.
I got pictures and videos for days to show you. I can tell you that I ran around that building at EWA because of the same shit that I'm talking here. Like, I didn't back down from anything, and I had to run around that building carrying guardrails to the point where I vomited like 3 times. The vomit was real. The guardrails were heavy metal. The building was fucking huge. Rachel knows exactly the building I'm talking about. You skated at that skate building in Dundalk, Rachel. You know what I'm talking about.
I know the building.
I had to run around that entire building carrying metal guardrails to the point where I vomited. I had to get told I sucked. I got mentally beat down. I got physically beat down. I threw up. I fucking hate throwing up. I could tell you all the places, all the schools, every building, every goddamn warehouse I've trained in, boxing rings, dojos, everywhere I've been. I've been to so many different schools, so many different techniques of wrestling, so many different, like, so much different lingo. I know so much more about wrestling than I let on, but I don't do half the shit I know because I know that I have to tell the story that'll make the most sense, if that makes sense.
Totally makes sense. And I want you to remember the sensation of throwing up, because if you go on the JFW podcast, that's what you're going to be experiencing.
Not true at all. You're going to have a wonderful time and you're like, wow, you know what? Travis ain't that bad of a guy.
Travis, you're beloved.
I misunderstood.
You're a
That's all it
beloved
is.
citizen. Andy, how's ARW for you? Because that's currently where you're, Drew. Drew, how is ARW working out for you? Because I understand that's kind of where you're training and a trainer, correct?
Yeah, I help out from time to time. It's been really helping me learn how to talk out a lot of my wrestling knowledge to people. It really helps me kind of it's helping me get happier about this, if that makes sense. Like I've pivoted to the point where now I feel a lot more confident as a person in ring and like control wise in ring, because I can go to that school and I can talk to the guys who are wrestling there and give them advice and give them confident advice. Like, it's not like, hey, go out there and do this. It might work, it might not, but like I can tell them like, hey, this is going to work if you do this. Just trust me and try it. And like that's something I was lacking a lot up until I started going there. It's like what, earlier this summer, Rachel? I'm not too sure when I started going.
Summer, fall.
But I fucking love it. I love the people there. Everyone's great. Braun and Chano, they were Braun maybe not so much. Chano is how Chano is. He was kind of like he kind of like kept me off to the side a little bit because he didn't know me. But I am nothing but persistent, so I made sure he got to know who I was inside the wrestling ring, outside it, when I was helping him build for super wrestlers or for ARW shows in general. Like I literally worked from the very bottom there all over again. And most people, with how long, like I've been wrestling from about, we'll say 10 years, 9 with COVID. But with how long I've been wrestling, most people being told, hey, you got to start from the very bottom. You are the grunt having to do all this over. Egos will kill that person, and they'll be like, I don't have to do that. I don't never have to do that. I knew I had to start from where I started from because these people don't know me. They don't know what I do. So I willingly started pretty much all over again with a whole new group of people to prove that, like, hey, I want to be here. I want to belong with y'all. This is what I want to do. And I've been on like the last 6 or 7 shows. I'm not too sure. I've been on a lot of them. I haven't missed a single ARW show since I've started getting put onto them.
And you're doing well at ARW. I mean, they have great crowds there. I mean, obviously, it's a very popular show in Lake Station. It's not in Lake Station anymore, is it? It's now in Hobart.
It's kind of all over the place. I've done shows in Hobart with them. I've done the Lake Stations. I did a Crown Point show with them. And where were we just now? We were just at the UAW Hall in Chicago. So
I hope you all enjoy my leopard print blanket that Andrew's displaying right now.
Very nice.
Keep it leopard print.
Warmth is good. Warmth is good indeed. Yeah. You know what we haven't done in a while that I think we need to get back to as we get ready to, as the season ends and maybe the series even. Red, what about some flowers tonight? My voice. Whoa. Sorry, Travis is waving the Ryan Matthews hand.
I want to end with this. I want to end C-Red. I want to end with C-Red Flowers. I want to ask like a couple questions real quick. That's cool. That's cool with you.
JFW in the house.
Yeah, because this way I know how to talk about Drew Bronson going forward. So as far as Drew Bronson goes, is this an evolution of Hot Rod or is this a complete different thing?
No, Hot Rod was probably a de-evolution. Like that was a step back to something I never really was. So who I am now is actually who I used to be before I came out here. I have just added a lot more of my like old man attitude and aggressiveness into my wrestling that I didn't have before I became Hot Rod That Andy.
Okay, so as far as Drew Bronson's concerned, Hot Rod never really existed. That's
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Is there ever a possibility Hot Rod may show up one day, or is that? I know never to say never in the business, but
I mean, so long as I have any kind of say, it's no.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
he's pretty much dead. But unless someone's like, hey, here's $1,000 or $2,000 or 3,000 or so on and so forth, or like
Right.
a huge company's like, we want that colorful goofball.
I got
That's when you don't say never. But like,
Gotcha.
if I have the control over who I get to be or like who my character is that I'm portraying, then it's this.
So Hot Rod's on sabbatical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got amnesia right now. He doesn't know what he's doing.
Final question, just for my enjoyment. Hot Rod was a member of the LIM. Is Drew Bronson?
I don't think so. I don't think they've extended that invite to me.
That's all I need to know. Don't accept. It's a fucking
I was
cult.
thinking that. I was thinking that.
I
Right
feel
before you
like
asked
I would
it.
attack those guys.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I'd beat the shit out of them. Just don't join them. Just no, you're good.
Cut some throats.
That's right. But yeah, no, that's all I wanted. I just because obviously,
Hey.
like going for.
Relax, Travis. There's 2 members of the LIM one. 3.
One of them's not
There's
Steve.
It's like 3 of them, right?
No, there's only 2. You and Nubby. That's it. Yeah, I was offered. I didn't take it. Steve was never offered. I don't know if Rachel has.
I've never been offered.
I was never offered.
Man, Rion, I don't think and Rion hasn't either. It's insane, nutty. Well, I guess Treon's part of LIM. I really don't. I don't know.
Skills is definitely LIM.
That's what I believe. Yeah. So,
But is that because Treon wanted to be in, or did they force Treon in?
I think they forced Treon in.
Might have been a fourth thing. All I know is next Christmas we are making Treon Skills ugly sweaters.
It's a good idea.
It's going to be great.
No.
That'd be some great merch.
Yeah, I was just curious about the whole like Drew to Hot Rod thing, because if I do, going forward when we start talking about you at your upcoming shows and stuff, I don't want to make that comparison if that's not what's going on.
For all the nerds who watch wrestling or listen to wrestling podcasts, to make it super simple, Old Man Logan. Like that is the simplest way to put it. Old Man Logan, but like think of it as like Old Man Logan with an aggressive like William Regal hanging out with him.
What about William Money?
Maybe.
Right. Unforgiven, 97, one of Clint Eastwood's greatest fucking movies. God, yeah, that's Old Man Logan right there.
Man,
God.
Anyway, Travis, you reaching,
dude. I'm still waiting for a Scott Eastwood prequel remake to Unforgiven and get us young William Money doing all that shit they talked about. It. Come on now,
you'll never get it.
Yeah, but they need to do it.
I'm not saying they don't need to do it.
Scott Eastwood portray his dad's previous character. Come on now. Who plays Morgan Freeman's young self?
C-Red.
I thought C-Red was raising his hand. I'm like, all right, C-Red. You got that.
C-Red, you gonna turn it down though? Right? Right? Because that's gonna be directed by Clint Eastwood too.
There's Unforgiven, posted by Rion Skills, not Treon. Don't get them confused. 2 different people.
Great. I just watched that movie last week. It still holds up. Great movie.
It is a great Western. There's no doubt about it.
Such a great movie.
How about some flowers, C-Red? We haven't gone down this road in a while, and I think Drew Bronson, with changing characters, becoming a better version of himself. I mean, there's got to be some flowers in there somewhere.
No, not really. No. it takes it takes a smart person to realize at some point what you're comfortable uh and to start from scratch in a sense because again to know this is probably who you were before you came to the Midwest in Chicago. Now we get to see you. And I applaud you for nothing else. That you talked about how you had to, you went to ARW and realized you had to start from the ground up. And I totally agree with everything you said as far as most guys would have not accepted that. The problem is that's what the fuck people should do, regardless. If you go to a new company, you do whatever is asked of you, you know. But you know, I hate these young assholes who think that they're entitled because they've worked for 2, 3, 4 years. Oh, well, I don't have to set up the fucking ring. I don't have to put away the chairs. I don't have no, fuck that. You know.
Wrestling
you,
really has a way of humbling you, man. Like it doesn't matter how far along you are, at some point you're gonna end up having to taste the shit all over again. Like you gotta just accept that no matter how big your ego is, you're still gonna be real small at the end of the day once it's all over. Like
well, I told somebody, I think Turtle was standing around when I make this comment Saturday. The sad part is people don't grasp the concept that guess what? Uh, Ain't none of us on fucking TV. Ain't none of us got no major contract where you know, this is all we do uh Sunday to Sunday. Like, no, we don't. So nobody should have the big head and feel that they are better than anybody else and that can help in any kind of way. You know, Saturday night I was picking up trash in the back of the locker room.
same here.
Why? Because was I told I had to do it? No, but why leave a place dirty when that's not how we came in? You know, that's just my thing. You know, and that's my rant. But again, at the same time, for you to go somewhere and realize, okay, I got to start from the bottom up and I got to work my way up. That shows the man you are personally, you know, and I applaud that. I've always respected that about you. Um, I know the times we have worked on the same show. If you didn't have to leave because of family obligation, you stayed. You helped out. You did what you needed to do. Versus, you know, some people, you know, show is over. They're looking for the promoter. Hey, okay, you know, can I get paid? I'm fuck out of here. And it's like, you know, it always throws me, and anybody on this podcast can agree. Next time you go to a show, look at the people, look at all, just count all the people before the show starts. Just count all of them. And then once the final bell rings, count how many are left. You ever notice like half the number is already gone by the time, you know, the lights come on and the show is over with? Like, what the fuck? Like, why is that a thing? I mean, I get some of us work, I get some of us have family situations we need to attend to, but at the same time, like, it shouldn't be half. It just shouldn't. So, Drew, I respect you as a man, as a performer. I personally can't wait to see you in the ring at some point. Um, I'm going to be, I'm going to compare. I'm not gonna lie. I'm going to compare the person that I used to see, that other guy, and I'm going to compare Drew Bronson. But I'm sure that I'm going to enjoy Drew Bronson uh, because I know you as a worker, and I know you don't half-ass it, and I know you don't phone it in. So I am thrilled to be able to witness this new, uh, not so new persona. But keep doing what you're doing, bro. You always know I support you regardless.
Thank you.
And just keep being you, man. Be true to yourself, because at the end of the day, if you're not true to yourself, you're not gonna be happy. You're gonna be right back where that headspace you were at a few months ago. So
Thank you, Fred.
Red hasn't lost his touch with those roses. Well done indeed. Real quick, Andy, your gift is authenticity. You are always very authentic when you do what you do.
It is a gift and a curse.
I think that is,
But
I think
keep
that's
going.
what, maybe it's your curse, but I think that's what makes it magic. And I think that's what's going to really ride Rabid Wrestling to the heights you want. And we're so proud of who you are and what you've done. We've all been better off since having met you that one day where you were the crazy fan at Crash Tested Wrestling and you were sitting with legendary roller derby superstar Cactus Rack. You've been part of this thing since day one, and we hope you're part of it for a long, long time to come, because you're good people, you're a great worker, and you're a good friend, and we appreciate you.
Thank you, Steve.
And now we're done with you.
Get the fuck out.
Get the
Yeah,
fuck
get
out.
downstairs and hang out with your kid.
Yeah, I can do that. I gotta put this cat away too. So
Has Cat been on the TV? I mean, the TV, the Zoom yet?
nah, he's asleep.
Show him off. Look at our new cat. I completely lost my mind on Friday and went and got this
Let
cat.
me turn the background off. Hold on.
Okay.
Yep.
You don't show our room.
I'm not trying to.
That cat, that is what is the name of that cat?
Hamish.
Hamish. Yes, named after guitar great Hamish Stewart.
No.
Yeah, he's asleep.
Okay.
That's him. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. Andy, you're welcome to stay as we talk about other things, or if you want to go, we understand. We're going to shift over to roller derby real quick, and then we'll circle back to wrestling, because I know Rachel isn't always able to stay the whole time, and I want to get the roller derby in while I still have a voice, which is waning on me fast. And he's gone, so he's not going to stay.
Yeah, he wasn't staying.
That's okay. That's okay. We love him anyway. We had the big minors bout. 6 points is a lot of points for your mini you to do. Take us through the whole event. How was it?
It was so much fun. It was such good energy. The scrappers really put up a fight. There was actually a huge point disparity in the scrappers bout. And for those who aren't familiar, the scrappers is like, I think 5 to maybe 9, 5 years old to 9 years old, something like that. There was a huge disparity. And I remember at one point, someone on the Crushers came up to me and said, "Do we really only have 4 points?" And the other team had like 28. And I was like, "I hate this for you, but yes." And they just ramped it up and they closed that gap. And I think there was maybe 10 points between them by the end. So that was really wonderful. There are some really talented skaters already in the scrappers. Start them young when they still have collagen in their bodies and can recover from falling.
How was my nemesis Lightning?
Lightning was not there.
What?
Yeah, Lightning was not there. So It was a lot of the usual suspects: Fear the Greer, the Fin Reaper, Black Heron, Super Scary, Cherry Knock 'em Dead, Rainbow Sprinkles. Rainbow Sprinkles jammed. It was the cutest jam I've ever seen in my life. So if you have a little boy or a little girl at home that you want to get into sports and you want to get into contact sports, Chicago Knockouts Minors League is the place to go. And then moving on to, we had the Brawlers. The Brawlers is about 9, 10 up to 17. And when they turn 18, they move up to the Premier League, which is my league. And it was the Retro Rumblers against the Punk Rock Punishers. And it was, if you looked at the teams side by side, you would never have guessed the outcome of the game. And that's because I think all of the smallest players were on the Punk Rock Punishers. And they were down more people. And then the Retro Rumblers was a lot of the older kids who've been playing other sports. And so when I tell you that the Punishers blew the Rumblers out of the water, I don't even think the Rumblers knew what was happening half the time. Like, look at these munchkins just taking us. I mean, they really got it together. Obviously, Donnie's not a munchkin himself, but they really, I mean, like, I know I'm biased, but Hazel, who skated as Bobby Kill, as in Bobby Hill, and she had a purse and everything that she was swinging around. One of the things that she has not inherited from me is my aggression. And so jamming has been difficult for her in that she finds it hard to find a path and commit to it, because once a blocker is near her, she tends to shrink back. And this time she just ran right through. She ran through while the other jammer could not get out. She scored the points. She got all of her points, and all the way through. And so at the end, they did get really close. At the end, it was 60 points Punishers to 61 Rumblers.
Wow.
So they did catch it, and that wasn't the final one. And so for the last jam, they sent out Catitude. Catitude is knee-high to a grasshopper, literally.
But very fierce.
She just killed it, got those points. I can't remember, I think it was 64, maybe 65. I think she may have lapped the other jammer. I'm not sure. I just know she got those points and she called it off as soon as she got out of the pack and denied the other jammer the opportunity to pick up any points. So once that happened, it was just, the whole stadium erupted. It was a wonderful feeling. I was really proud of Hazel. I don't know if you saw the photo that Greg put up of Hazel jamming, and I'm in the background, like, beaming so hard my face hurt just watching her do the thing. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's me gushing about my baby.
Proud mama moment.
Very proud mama moment. But then, total attitude change this weekend is the championship bout.
It all comes down to this Saturday at the HF Auditorium. Once again, the Punishers and the Rumblers renew their rivalry. Only one can be champion. And from what I've heard, the deck is stacked against one of the teams.
Oh, who's told you this?
I thought it was you.
Was it me?
Same person who questioned Andy's training.
Who
Well
was
played,
it?
Travis. Well played.
Was it the same person?
No. I thought you had mentioned that there were numbers discrepancies.
I think that was when I was talking about the Brawlers, actually.
Oh, maybe that's true.
Yeah. When I was talking about the Brawlers, I was talking about the numbers discrepancies, because actually, so I mentioned earlier that when a skater turns 18, they move up to the Premier League. Frankenherder, this was going to be her last bout skating with the Brawlers because she is 18, and so she's moving up to our league. and she didn't get to skate this time. She is almost as clumsy as I am. Let me put it that way. So I'm not sure what happened. I believe it's something to do with a previously broken or sprained ankle. But as far as I know, she's okay. But it was disappointing. She looked really cool though. She bench coached. She looked really cool, but unfortunately, she did not get to skate with the Brawlers for her last Brawlers bout. But no. So for the Punishers versus, actually, there may be a numbers game for the Punishers versus the Rumblers. I think there have been some changes. I'm not going to give anything out because there's been changes for the Punishers too. We are down 1 or 2 people on our end as well. But I really think that if you have not come out to see a bout yet, that you're going to want to come out to see this one, because the Punishers have never, ever won the championship. Ever. Not once. In all the years that the knockouts have existed, have they made it anywhere close to holding the championship.
So this is a big moment for them, but the Rumblers, who have won championships very recently.
No, they haven't.
I thought it was 2 years ago.
Nope. Crushers.
Oh, that's right, the Crushers.
Crushers every year, then the Haunters, and now we'll see.
So now you have 2 teams that haven't had many championship runs coming together, and one of them is going to do something that they haven't done in a while or ever.
Right. And it's very different. It's very different this time. There's a very different makeup, I think, for both teams. We've had a lot of growth in the league this year, a lot of changes with where people fall in the league. It's definitely not going to be like anything you've seen before. I think there's a lot of competitiveness and a lot of grit and a lot of almost wanting something that's owed, if that makes sense.
It does make sense. So what are you thinking is going to happen? Obviously, you're repping the Punishers in this particular bout. And aren't you Cactus Rack?
No, I'm Lux Exterior.
What is that?
Lux Exterior.
Tell me about this character.
Lux Interior from the Cramps?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm Lux Exterior. So
well played. Well
played
indeed.
So I will be there in my leopard cat suit and my purple mesh and my glittery glam makeup.
Look at Red. Red wants to go.
You should go.
Have a prior commitment.
He's been promising for ages. He'll never go. But we have breaking news on this show. Both Travis T and Turtle are going, and they're going to be fight refs.
You are?
I was looking at tickets right now. Trackside is sold out, but front row's still available.
Yeah, you should make it. Wait, are you guys actually being fight refs?
No, God.
I was like, Travis, I'm going to beat your ass.
You kidding me?
But I see what happens to Rion. I don't want that.
Yeah.
Rion needs help.
If you think what happens to Rion is bad, you should see what happens to the Bros.
I don't get my fat ass out of the chair to wave my hands side to side to Joe Hendry. You think I'm reffing a fucking roller derby match?
That's fair. I mean, I get my fat ass out there to skate. So.
I mean, geez, the only reason I stood up and applauded at the end because everyone was doing it. I didn't want to be that one guy. Is front row still is that front row of those like wooden bleachers?
Yes.
My concern is being a big guy is sitting in those bleachers and like breaking them or getting stuck or some shit.
They'll accommodate you if you want to sit on the floor. If you purchase front row, if it's an accommodation issue, you can sit on. You'll sit on the floor.
Getting like the 2 seats on Southwest.
Yeah, exactly. No, you'll sit on the floor.
Is a benefit. I'll tell you right now.
Knock someone right into you.
I'll tell you right now, yeah. Sometimes being fat's a benefit. I'll tell you that much. I got nothing going on Saturday, and Homewood's not that far off.
Yeah.
Travis,
come out, support it.
Really enjoy it. It's a really fun time.
Well, I've been keep telling myself I want to go. I really wanted to go to that I don't know how you described it, like the R-rated or the After Dark one.
The After Dark one.
Yeah. When is that? When is that one?
June.
That's in June. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I tried to make that one and something came up that week. I got nothing
I'm
going
not
on
sure
that
that's
Saturday.
ever going to happen again.
I don't know that
No,
it's not.
I thought that was going to be an annual thing.
That thing got a little more risque than I think Homewood was ready for. I know I wasn't ready.
I'm pretty sure it is happening
Oh
again,
my
but
God.
don't quote me on that. I think it's going to be it's going to have a different themes though. So hold on to your butts.
Wait, so who am I rooting for on Saturday? The Rumblers?
Punishers. Don't say the Rumblers around Lux.
Okay. Well, I just need to know because here's that I can buy tickets on one side or the other. I need to know where to buy the ticket at.
Punishers.
Okay, Punishers. Buy the front row next to the Punishers. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, noted. Nothing you coming with?
I'll let you know. I'll let you know.
You ain't going. You ain't going.
And we'll see if you actually go.
Hey, he's come to a couple of them. I'll give him that. He's come to 2 or 3.
You got PX who's joined us now.
PX has come once and ended up getting put in the sin bin more than any of the skaters.
He did.
Yeah, I think about 2 or 3 times actually.
Yeah, you're
like
officially a
right?
knockout at this point.
Was that during a fundraising match or something?
That was a fundraising one, yeah.
Yeah.
So the reason we fundraise, I know there can be some issues around that because it's an LLC. The reason we fundraise is because there are no dues to be a member. So it supports the cost of the rentals and kind of everything that we do. And also the money is being put away because we do own a bank track. It's the bank track from the movie Whip It, if you want to watch the movie and see it.
Great
and we
film.
are, what'd you say?
Great film.
I thought you said, please don't. I was like, what? So we are looking for a space for that. So if you have anything you're looking for, reach out to the Knockouts Facebook or to the website, chicagonokouts.com. If you know of any spaces that aren't $10,000 a month, because no one in roller derby has that kind of money.
Well, let me ask you this. What's the space size you need and like the area you're willing to go to?
Let me get back to you on that.
Yeah, message me because I know a couple people who have a couple warehouses and stuff. It just depends on where you want to go and how far. I'm assuming you want to try to stay as close to Homewood as possible. But
yeah, definitely as close to Homewood and the city because a lot of our skaters come from the north side.
Yeah, let me know about space. I might know something.
All right, I will get those numbers and let you know. But yeah, what was I? Oh yeah, so we did the fundraiser bout. So what we have is called the Rec League. It's a play on like the recreational league. It's WRECK, and that's kind of where we have the most fun. So we had the After Dark bout in June, and then in August we had the Wheels and Warriors, which was like the D&D themed bout. And then we had that one that was the fundraiser was North Side versus South Side. So which is funny because some skaters came down from Michigan and they went on the North Side team. So yeah, so it's a lot of fun. I've laid off of this for a bit, but I'm gonna hammer it again. We bust our asses to put these shows on for you. And there's been some confusion. The score is not fake. We are theatrical and our fights are fake. The score is real. The gameplay is real. We are actually out there strategizing. We are out there thinking on our literal feet what we're going to do next to win the game. So you're seeing like a work of art out there.
And there are bad feelings when you lose.
There are bad feelings.
Bad feelings.
Bad feelings.
It's not good.
We all still love each other at the end of the day, but it's a family. And in a family, you feel your feelings.
And then go to Rabbit Brewing for the after party because what happens at Rabbit stays at Rabbit. I'm not allowed to talk about it on this show, nor will I.
Okay. Fair enough.
Let's just say, go.
Yeah.
How long did the matches last for?
About an hour and a half to 2 hours.
Okay, so they start at 8,
timeouts and
done
stuff.
on 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
Depends on timeouts and fights.
And then you go to the after party for some delicious cocktails.
Yes.
Yes.
Dude, I mean, 10 o'clock's diving into my bedtime, so it's kind of like...
Oh,
I mean, 8:30 is my bedtime, and our bell is at 8:05.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm old, bro.
They have these frozen cocktails that are a delight.
Yeah,
At
they
Rabbit
are pretty
Brewing or
good.
at the event?
Rabbit Brewing.
A little bit Rabbit
Rabbit Brewing also serves at the event.
I think you can get the frozen cocktails at the event as well.
Yep, they serve there as well.
Awesome.
So,
okay.
So make it out.
Cactus, who's going to win?
Punk Rock Punishers, obviously. They have me.
That's not what Steve heard. That's not what Steve heard from his source.
Yeah, I know. What'd you hear? You heard the Rumblers are going to win?
I heard it's going to be a red wave over Homewood.
Over my dead body.
Maybe. You never know.
Who do you think is going to kill me?
I don't know.
There's one thing I can be cocky about.
I don't know who's on the Rumblers and who's on the Punishers.
Not me, that's for sure.
I mean, who knows where Marley Quinn ends up?
She's with me. She's Team Blurple.
She gonna be there?
She is. So is her husband.
That's not what I asked. You're just giving me information and questions I'm not asking at this point.
What about like a boss? Where's she gonna be?
She's purple.
Oh,
she's
yeah,
the captain.
I have a feeling purple. That's going to be really hard for Red to win with that trio.
Yep.
That's rough.
Yep.
That's amazing. Well,
so sad, Rumblers. So sad.
If you're not
good.
Otherwise occupied this Saturday, the HF Auditorium, the Knockout Dome, it's going to be rocking. Get out there, see it. I'm telling you, it's the best money you'll spend, the most entertaining and the fastest 2 hours of your life. Goes by like it's shot out of a cannon, literally, because it's shot out of a cannon.
Pretty much that's how it feels. We were actually joking at practice the other day how sometimes we get out there and it's like the third or the fourth jam in before we realize we actually know how to skate because it all just happens so fast.
And another reason to come out to the auditorium on Saturday is at some point Rion Skills will get his ass handed to him on a plate.
It could be Rion. It could be Drew Bronson this time.
Could be.
I have no problems messing up a ref, even if it is my boyfriend.
Rion just has a bad habit of being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Or maybe he's in the right place at the wrong time. It's hard.
I mean, at least it's not like poor Goat. Goat, I will go hunt down.
I've never seen anybody attack Goat.
I've attacked him multiple times.
Oh, you have?
My photo for the longest time was me with him in a camel clutch.
Rion is giving us the look. He's giving us the eyeball.
Yeah.
Stop talking about me. That's what that looks for.
Yeah. So let's move on to super wrestlers.
All right.
Yes.
So we're gonna go super wrestlers. Then we're gonna go to Rocket Pro. Then we're gonna preview the others. So we're gonna get it all done, and we're gonna go fast because.
Okay, I'm gonna log off after super wrestlers.
All right. I had
long day.
I had PX on specifically for this adventure. So, Pac-Man, please do better than you did on the JFW podcast. Please.
Oh no.
Because that was fucking trash bag journalism.
Well, it's good to be back, Steve.
It's good to be back. You better be
Who?
fucking better than you were this morning. I'm having a breakfast sandwich going, what the fuck is he talking about?
What did he do that he didn't like?
The way he described everything, it's like, wait a minute, that's only half of what happened.
Listen, if you expect better, go listen somewhere else, bro. I don't know what to fucking tell you.
I mean, I am the better idiot, so available on tpublic.com.
I just don't know. All right, Pax, go ahead.
All right. I mean, like, let's talk about it. The Cubic Moose is no longer the hot potato champion.
Really? You don't say.
I don't. Well, I mean, I do, but I don't. But Destructo, now the hot potato champion. After Business Puppy finally returned and cost Destructo the match.
Now, don't forget that Business Puppy didn't just return in the middle of the match. Business Puppy was chained up by Madam Shatter to the ring during the match.
He was a bad dog, Pax. You missed that whole thing.
He was a bad boy. He seemed kind of hesitant, though.
Yeah, he was sad. Those were some puppy dog eyes.
And I mean, we had two. Jordan Cross, the new master wrestler.
Yes, yes. This was my favorite lack of focus of the entire, other than you guys randomly droning on about.
You've already buried 2 leads here, Pat. Two
Yeah.
leads.
Other than you babbling about commercials this morning, your complete mishandling of the of the master prize was unbelievable. But go ahead, try again.
The blood of Jordan Cross caused.
Wait. How did we get to the blood? How did we get to the blood?
That is a very good question.
So, Callus, I mean, maybe it should be a duo, Pat.
I need to get off the fucking podcast. I need this voice on Friday. You're killing me.
Callus and what was the name of the other one? Boxstar. They were just going to town on poor punk rock Prince Jordan Cross, just beating the crap out of him. At one point, he got flung backstage, and when they bring him out, he's got blood running down his face. And then for some reason, these 2 dopes decide we're going to hit him with the prize. And eventually, it was drenched in the punk rock Prince's blood. And then what happened, Pat?
And then Ryor was resurrected.
Yes, what did the blood initiate?
It initiated the resurrection sequence.
The resurrection sequence.
It was like a computer program got initiated. And then all of a sudden the lights went crazy. The smoke went bananas. And suddenly reborn was Ryor in all his glory.
In red furry boots.
Yes.
I just want to point out, I do this on my show, and I'm an asshole.
Travis, I'm charming.
I mean,
and nobody gives a shit about me anyway. So
I do this with love.
I don't think you always do it with love. Maybe
I have a touch only a mother can have.
That's fair.
You're doing a fine job, PX.
I appreciate that, Travesty. Yeah. I'm doing my best.
That's right. It's not Monday, so it's whatever you do.
and Pat's buried the lead again. How did Jordan Cross get his title opportunity?
What I'm trying to figure out is when he did this on my show, the hot potato title was the very last thing he talked about, but now it's the first thing here. So I'm trying to figure out how the show actually ran.
I'm bouncing around. I'm like a jumping jack.
Hot potato was the main event.
That it was.
Gotcha. That's fair.
So how Jordan Cross got the opportunity for the prize is the Rydell Rumble. And the first entrant was Hot Kazooie, which I must say, Hot Kazooie has some pretty stiff chops.
Hot Kazooie is my favorite wrestler right now.
Hot Kazooie is who people are talking about when they say, "Who's that diva?"
Where is the picture of Hot Kazooie?
That's who they're talking about when they say,
hold on, I got this.
Hot Kazooie is my new favorite wrestler. I want to see Hot Kazooie everywhere. To me, that was the moment that I popped like a child.
The boa will no longer be associated with Hulk Hogan. It is solely Hot Kazooie's property.
Hot Kazooie, there he is. There's Hot Kazooie. Man, that dude was entertaining.
He gave a couple audience members a lap dance.
He sure did.
He was on fire, literally.
That's right. All of you gaze at the Red. Look at Hot Kazooie, goddammit.
Did you just say all of you gaze?
Gaze. No, you're gazing at Hot Kazooie.
Oh.
Not what you said, bro.
Are you fucking serious right now?
Cast thine eyes upon. Let's go as long-winded as possible. Cast thine eyes upon.
Cast eyes upon Hot Kazooie. See, Red, look at Hot Kazooie. He is magnificent.
I can't.
All I know is the chop Hot Kazooie hit the Punk Rock Prince almost cost the Punk Rock Pits, the match in the first 38
It
seconds.
almost took his whole chest off.
He looked like he was 8 years old and somebody took his whoopee when he got chopped. I felt sad for him. But in the end, he beat Hot Kazooie, which was disappointing.
It was.
But you know what was more disappointing than Hot Kazooie being beaten? Was the entire premise of Biff Beware. They had Biff Beware.
You skipped the second one.
The viral sensation, Steven Flo.
Now that's gone fucking viral. That shit
Yeah.
is all over the place. Fucking grunge radio stations and rock and roll columns. That shit has exploded. Steven Flo has become a media superstar. It's amazing.
And yet he could not win.
Yet he could not beat the punk rock. So Punk beat grunge yet again.
But again, you love to see it. Super wrestlers going viral.
I can't believe how many tweets I read today about Steven Flo. And they kept playing his song, which it eventually Pearl Jam is going to catch wind of this and cease and desist all the shit. If WWE has ceased and cease and desist is what I'm trying. My throat is all fucked up. But then if they did that to cocaine, they're going to kill Steven Flo.
Wait, did they?
Yeah.
Oh no shit! I didn't.
No,
I,
the EC
dude,
said nope. That's over.
Oh shit! What about Gain?
All of them.
All of them?
They went after blue. They went after green.
That's so boring because
shut 'em
I
all
mean,
down.
look at what a disappointment Kane has turned out.
We're
to
going
be.
to reach out to the indies, but these gimmicks that are tributes, I guess you could call it. No, we will not have those.
I mean, be honest. I mean, we all assumed that one day cocaine was going to be a WWE ID.
I just think cocaine was fantastic.
The
only person that didn't like cocaine was Dustin Rhodes.
Mm-hmm.
But that's neither here nor there.
Nice.
So Biff Beware came after Steven Flo. So I mean, anytime you follow the grunge legend, you're going to come in a little flat. And they made it sound like Biff Beware was this really powerful entity. And when he ran in, he was very powerful looking. But in the end, as it were,
He didn't even get a move in.
Very disappointing.
Yeah.
But I've been disappointed by that kind of athlete before. Recently, as a matter of fact. But that's neither here nor there.
They must play for the Bears.
It's clearly here, so you're having feelings.
I'm having feelings. But
yeah,
again, only the morning after knows for sure. So let's move on, Pax. We've talked about the gauntlet, the Rydal Rumble that spun into the championship match, and we now have a new master champion. What else?
We had Canadad going up against Delay Mignon. I mean, Canadad worked the nose. He took Delay Mignon's nose.
Travis, you know how fathers play games with their children where they say, I got your nose?
Yeah.
That happened. That was real. He took his nose and then did the four corners of the turnbuckle, beating the nose, and then gave it back to him all busted.
I think at one point he threw the nose.
He did throw the nose, but then the nose got thrown, but it got thrown back.
Yeah.
Thrown back. Well, thank God.
There were delicious raw vegetables in a Jersey Mike's bag that Delay Mignon scattered across the canvas.
I mean, it was much like thumbtacks.
It appears that they had the feeling of thumbtacks after.
Well, they're frozen, so they're very, very stiff objects.
Yes. That explains why Delay Mignon was in agony after being
I'll never look at frozen carrots again the same way. They're weapons, they're monsters.
I don't even think we can give them the benefit of them being frozen. I think they were just raw vegetables.
Yeah, but they were very sharp and very piercing.
Okay. Especially the broccoli.
In the end, it was the maple mist, wasn't it?
Yeah. I mean, Lockport Joe said that food could be used as weapons. So, referee's
No, in the
discretion
end,
and all that.
it was the baguette.
Yeah.
The baguette was part of it, and you know what I really enjoyed was the pin roll where Turtle, he tried to take your 3 slices, but Delay Mignon is like rolling dough. He's using his body as a rolling pin, and he rolls up and then he rolls back and then he rolls up, flattening out the cookie.
Damn. I should have been doing that.
I think in elementary school we called that the pencil.
Maybe that's it. But it was the maple mist that caught the imagination, and it was very sticky for a long time. It was very sticky, which made the glitter even that happened later even more impressive. Go ahead, Pax.
Speaking of the glitter, hey, I feel like I'm up my own Monday trick, I mean, we had the Vampirates in tag team action. However, they were unsuccessful against Boskar and Callis. And there was glitter all over Boskar.
How did we get the glitter?
From one of the packages from Mr. Rad Blackbeard, the Porch Pirate.
He used it as a segue to even talk about it.
Hey, I was working my way up to that.
Jesus Christ.
For you, man, unload it. I mean, you can hear the fucking beep, beep, beep. We're back in the truck up, man. Unload the furniture.
Fucking Shatner sang Rocket Man faster than this. Speaking of glitter.
This ain't the 4th mother box, Pat. Come on.
Pat, we love you.
We
Hold
do.
on, he's having a giggle fit. You gotta give him a minute.
It is genuinely good to be back with you guys tonight.
Okay. What else about the super wrestlers do you have for us?
I mean, Ref
Look,
Christian
wait,
left the
there's
show.
Oh yeah, Christian is gone. He's gone on to his
Much like Turtle, Christian
yeah.
no longer a referee.
He is now trying to inherit his uncle Old Man Candy's candy factory. He left in the middle of the match between Shogun and Siphon.
Personally, I think it was not smart of him to not, ask for some legal documentation before he did this.
Before he boarded the helicopter to Candyland?
Yeah, ask for at least
that
some
happened.
ID.
That actually happened.
Yes, a helicopter landed on Concord Music Hall to take Ref Christian away to his new life.
And his name is Christian, what is it, Sugarsmith?
Sugarsmith.
That is correct. Sugarsmith. I have that in my notes.
Christian Sugarsmith, the heir to the candy factory. He is.
Wait a minute, Pat. You have notes.
And
yeah, I just forgot to pull
notes. That's what you're doing. This shit's written down and you're reading it.
Like he's hunting. You think he's hunting through his fucking memory for this?
That's what I did to start, and I'm like, no, I just got to pull up my notes from last night.
Dude, look at his fucking notes. He literally puts in there long pause. Like literally right there. It's a script at this fucking point, bro.
God, boy, I can't.
It's not as bad as Gabagool writing my notes saying this is awesome for his Rocket Pro notes. Because that happened.
I was
and he read it word for word.
Right there, Gabagool reference.
That segment as well. I was less than impressed. Pat, you need to work on your game, son. You're the podcast papa. This can't stand.
I'm getting that rust. I got to get the rust off.
Turtles recounting is more entertaining than what you're doing right now.
I got you. I understand. I'm working on it. I'll work on it. I promise.
I'm sorry I'm not as loud and, high pitched like you are, Steve.
But you could be. You have it in you, son. You need to bring it out.
Hey, I think I've done pretty well.
There is that man in you. I haven't gotten him yet, but you're there. Right? You're just going to bring it to the surface.
Travis, this just proves he doesn't listen to our show.
Oh.
Speaking of finishing
I wish I didn't listen to the one this morning as you guys took the greatest and worst commercials and sang them for 20 fucking minutes.
You're bad mouthing 40. Really? You're bad mouthing 45 seconds of a 2-hour long show. Ease up, bro.
That wasn't 45 seconds.
It was like 45 seconds.
30 fucking jingles. I'm like, this can't be happening.
And we blew through them in 45 seconds. Time it out there. Time it out there, CNN. Fucking A.
I'm gonna time it out. I'm gonna
Steve
do it.
Bannon. Steve Bannon.
Steve Bannon. Right. So Christian is a candy baron. That was also very impressive. We had a wizard. The wizard came out and fought
Travis would like the wizard.
in a grudge match. And Travis won't be happy. But Danger Mask beat the wizard.
Cleanly
Even
done.
though the wizard went full on ET. Right, Pax?
That is true. Yeah, he had the whole finger gimmick and everything. The whole thing.
We also had a Nolan the fucking wizard doppelganger in the audience.
We did.
Had me completely fooled.
Cactus is sitting to my right, and off to the right is a person that bore a striking resemblance to Nolan the fucking wizard.
But
And
the woman he was sitting with had no resemblance to Nolan the fucking wizard's wife. So I'm sitting here like, what the fuck is going on here?
you thought there was infidelity happening.
I did. I was getting mad. On behalf of the lady at my wife.
I have never seen Cactus so loud. She kept saying, "It's your brother," and
No, that was Andrew.
Was that Andrew?
You mean that's not Nolan the fucking wizard?
They stopped the match, and Nolan stops and turns around and gets a good look at him.
It was.
That's what Andy and Rachel and
It was eerie.
Our section disrupts the show on the regular.
We do. My best moment by far though was after Rydal, stupid name, yelled, "I am your God," and I screamed back, "Separation of church and state."
Oh, the crowd went crazy. That was great. So many good chants, so much fun. And they set an attendance record, 16,789 people.
It was 15,000.
15,917, sir.
I thought that was what he said the first time, and then the second time it was over 16,000.
Huh. He must have gotten a few thousand more people while he was talking.
Is that a real number?
No.
Oh yeah, it exists.
I never been to the music hall.
I mean, it's a real number, but
I never been to the music hall, so I'm not quite sure.
Well, definitely not the size of a stadium.
He was handed the note by courier. It had to be right.
Oh, yeah. It's simple, yeah.
In closing, the Super Wrestler show that we saw last night or Sunday night was the most entertaining Super Wrestler show I've ever been to. And it's not even close. They have really hit their fucking stride. And from the minute we got there to the minute it was over, it was an absolute joy to watch. And now that Stephen Flow has gone viral, you better get your tickets quick because they're going to sell out because people are going to come and see this shit.
Yep.
Well, they do it, what, every 3 or 4 months or something like that?
The next one is March 9th. March 9th. Go to the Concord Music Hall website. You can buy your tickets. I think the pre-sale is on right now, and I think they're $25. But if you wait till the end, they will be more. So get your tickets because they will. Now that Stephen Flow has become a cult hero, at least until Pearl Jam shuts that shit down. See Stephen Flow because.
Yeah. So, but is the every 3 month show, is that by design for them or? Okay.
Billy has said on this podcast many times that they feel like that's enough. And he says at some point they'd like to be big enough where they could do more, but he says right now it's ideal. And I think he's absolutely right because by the time March comes, we'll miss it and want to see it again because that's what happens every time. So hopefully things will go well for me and I can go back in March because it's going to be a splendid show. I can't wait to see what happens next. Moving into Rocket Pro Wrestling, which is why I brought Travis here because he is now a member of our commentary team.
I'm skedaddling.
Bye, Rachel.
Skedaddle away.
Bye.
Good luck Saturday.
Bye, girl. Bye.
Bye, girl. Bye. Smooches.
Bye, girl. Bye.
Smooches. Let me figure out how to leave. Okay, goodbye.
And Cactus is gone. All right, let's talk about Rocket Pro. The show overall, I think we'll all agree, was a good show. when we
Great show.
Red, great show, right? From the minute we started till the minute we ended. We had Quintero versus Gunner, even after the Shaq Jordan shenanigans. I really feel like Quintero's debut in Joliet was great. He wrestled great. That match was fantastic. It's everything I hoped it would be. And that's a great start to a show. What are your thoughts?
Travis?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you asked Red. I'm sorry.
Travis and Red.
Got you.
Yep.
Got you. I think usually when you have a debuting wrestler open up a show, it's a lot of pressure. I've never seen Quintero in that's a lie. I see him once at the Mr. Bill Classic. I think it was in Nestra. I think he wrestled.
Yes.
Yeah, you're right.
So, yeah. We just did the voting for SCW awards, and to me, my match of the year was that Nestra Quintero match because they fucking showed up and showed out for it. So him opening it, where I think to some people, like, not a wrestler, not that guy in the business. In my mind, though, when you're debuting at a place and you're opening the show, that's a lot of pressure. To him, it didn't even seem like it phased him one bit.
It opened the show, though.
He didn't open the show.
No, it didn't.
Oh, fuck, no, he didn't. Oh, the tag match opened the show. Fucking A, Steve. Quintero did a great job. He showed up, huge crowd. He delivered it in this match, especially with all the Shaq Jordan shit that Steve was causing. You know, fucking, he was able to push that to the side and ignore it.
Oh, you know what? You're right. I forgot about that tag match because it didn't really impact me very much.
Yeah, geez, Steve. See what happens when I listen to you?
Well, I told the guy, give me something to talk.
See, but the tag match was great too. I don't know why you're pissed. Red, how many people did he piss off on Saturday? Every single match, there was somebody you pissed off, starting with Stone and then Jordan. You just kept fucking doing it. It was a great tag match, man.
Tell me why. I mean, other than Sam Knight was there.
All the competitors were out there. Stone, who I think I may have even mentioned it, like the IPW Stone that I knew was more aggressive than the one I've been seeing in Rocket Pro lately. But it seems like that old Stone was kind of showing up in this tag match. Obviously, Schultz didn't want to be in there with him. The Hairless Cat didn't seem to be, phased by it, but I don't think that dude's all there to begin with. But I think him and Knight, regardless of the fact that it seems like they didn't want to tag together, they actually teamed up pretty well together. Obviously there was a miscue and Stone and Knight collided, causing obviously
Stone missed and hit his partner.
Yeah.
Let's just call it what it was. Yeah. Stone made a mistake. The IPW Stone wouldn't make that mistake.
Yeah, I'm
just saying.
No, I knew, like I said, there is a different Stone from Rocket Pro to IPW. It is
noticeable. We've talked about the Bears. Red torments me with it. Sometimes when you're on a losing streak, you just are as bad as you are. And sometimes you can't get out of it. And we have watched some embarrassing football over the last 5 games. I mean, obviously they were competitive, but
it was fun for me.
So my point is, when you're in a losing streak, you find ways to lose. You get a field goal blocked. You don't call a timeout. You go into a road game with a game plan that makes no sense, where you only gain 5 yards in the first half. You find ways to beat yourself. And I think that's what Aaron still wants me to talk about him. I'll talk about him. Right now, he says he's on the edge. He's got all of this angst because what he loves was taken from him and he wants it back. But he's finding ways to lose. And you're not going to get title shots when you find ways to lose unless you stand in the ring and challenge someone. Mm-hmm. So he's been on a losing streak, an epic one, and he's still going to get a title shot because after the loss, he challenged Ryan Matthews, Schultz.
Schultz, yeah.
For the new Zero Gravity title.
Yeah.
And I imagine he'll get that match. My question is it deserved? what
No.
has done to deserve the match other than challenge the man after losing to the man?
But see, and I think that's the problem when it comes to wrestling nowadays. I mean, how often do you have number one contender matches anymore?
Right.
You know, people just pop up and instantly there's a fucking match. And nothing against Rocket Pro Wrestling, but I think one of their problems is they didn't need to add another title. That's like what, like 4 singles titles now that they have. You know,
Yeah.
it's just like you don't need to add another title because once you start adding titles, it kind of takes away from the other ones. Like you want to focus on the Zero Gravity, awesome. How often are you talking about the Intercounty Championships then? You know, you don't need all this shit. And nothing against Stone, but yeah, he doesn't need to earn a title shot because they're just handed out. You know, it's just how it is.
So when resolution comes, and if this match does happen, if Aaron Stone is fortunate enough to win the match and become the new Zero Gravity champion, we'll give him his flowers. Maybe we'll even invite him on. But until that day, don't come at me because we're not talking about you. Because now we're talking about you and we're telling everybody that you're on this losing streak, not because you're not a good wrestler, but because you keep beating yourself.
Why do you hate Stone so much, dude?
I don't hate Stone.
Why
Stone,
is he the only one? Why is he the only one that you don't blame the Undeniable for all his losses? Every time somebody else gets screwed, it's Undeniable, but when Stone gets screwed, it's on Stone.
I feel like he's better than this. I know
he can take apart the entire Undeniable by himself.
I believe a version of Aaron Stone absolutely could.
Yeah. Did you believe that Rion could have taken out the entire Undeniable in his championship match a couple months ago?
I hoped he could.
You're not blaming Rion for that loss. You're blaming the Undeniable for that loss.
Well,
what's the difference between no disrespect to you, Rion, obviously at all. You know, I know you're a tough dude, 100%. But I mean, you can't sit here and blame Stone for all these mishaps and losses because the Undeniable is getting involved, but you still blaming Stone. But when they get involved in a Nubby situation or they get involved in a Rion situation or anything like that,
partner unexpectedly and then get rolled up for the loss, that's on you.
See, look, there's Rion choking out the owner of Treon. Yeah, but mistakes happen, dude.
Well, that's fine. He wants to call me to the carpet. I will call him to the carpet. Rion, to this point, has not called me to the carpet for anything that I'm aware of. So his situation is his situation. This is how I feel about Stone. I don't question how you feel about Shelly, and all you do is shit talk her for 3 hours.
Be a better mother, and I wouldn't have to. I'm just saying.
There you go. There you go.
I'm sorry. The reflection of the child is a reflection of the parents.
Of one, half.
Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
Other. Go back to being an ogre. Roll the dice and be an ogre, my brother.
I'd roll a fucking 20 right now and just run it down your fucking throat. I'll tell you that much.
Get your Google currency or whatever the fuck it was.
I don't even remember what I fucking called
Google
it.
Google snorts. Whatever
Google's like, there we go. Yeah, some Dr. Seuss bullshit.
That's what the Shellys are gonna pay you next month with. Here's your 40 Google snorts. Have at it, brother.
As long as the check clears, I don't give a fuck. That's fine. But
I'm surprised you're the only one that gets paid with a check. That to me is hilarious unto itself.
They don't carry that. They don't keep that much cash on hand. I don't know what to fucking tell you, dude.
Yes, you might be right about that. That I'm not talking about Maximus Orion.
Why talk about the moron? Why the fuck not? He had a match. He had a match on that night.
We don't have time, and I don't.
The Golden Boy, brother. You got to talk about him.
No.
You have to talk about him, bro. You absolutely have to.
You've already shit talked me about being biased, so there's nobody right now that I am more biased against, and well, with the exception maybe of Shaq Jordan.
Yeah, but you caused that too.
I did not cause that.
He wanted to come to commentary. Why didn't he come to commentary? Because you're mean to him. Because you're mean to him.
No, I told him to get the fuck out.
This motherfucker walks into Rocket Pro Wrestling. You're like, here, this guy is God. And now you just don't like him? Why? Why? Because he's not knocking lights out of the fucking ceiling? Because he disrespects Gunner Brave? Gives a shit.
You don't disrespect the mayor of the North.
He's not the mayor of the North. He's just a guy.
He's the guy.
Who you know what? Has no difference in this moment than Aaron Stone. He lost the title, tried to go for it, and hasn't fucking won. Why aren't you bad-mouthing Gunner?
That's right, sorry.
Yeah, Gunner Brave.
Well, y'all don't want to talk about it, but let's be honest. We need to talk about it, at least this match, for the simple fact Maximus looked like he was going to take another win, right? Typical undeniable shenanigans. And we had a Kid Lack site. Now, I don't know if anybody's been following social media or not, but there has been a report by this anchor, and
Very Clark Kent looking, if you ask me.
And he said, if you see Kid Lack, they needed proof and to send it in, Kid Lack sighting at whatever. Well, again, I know the three of us sat there and we probably figured, okay, more undeniable bullshit. And really,
that's an actual photograph from Saturday night. Yeah, that was pretty good.
And next thing I know, it's Kid Lack. And the building went crazy. And Maximus, again, just took his eye off the prize for and all it takes is a few seconds. And he got rolled up and he lost, which means Von Jaeger at Resolution gets a title shot back at knockoff Taco Bell and
Aztec Ammunition. Jesus DeSapio.
Taco Bell. First of all,
stop comparing them to a cheesy gordita crunch.
I'm going to put a cease and desist on his ass if he keep fucking wearing red every goddamn show.
Can you put a cease and desist on everybody who wears red?
Yeah, if you don't look good in this shit.
I mean, I had a red shirt on.
Christmas, so.
But that was a shirt, bro. That was just a shirt.
Mm-hmm.
He's making the color red look bad. No,
you look like a giant candy cane with that hat.
The problem with the ending of that match is that the moron got distracted because somebody was cheering for somebody that wasn't him. And that's been his biggest problem. And that's why I still believe he attacked Turtle. Is because if the spotlight's not on him, then what is Rocket Pro Wrestling? That's his mindset. The kid got handed everything growing up. It's right. It's simple when you see the dude walk out looking for a plate that he assumes his mother made for him. Because a normal girl be like, where's my food?
But she did say she made it. And she did. So
it was in the Fido dish.
Yeah.
Just because it wasn't where he thought it was gonna be. I mean, that's not her fault,
Right. And then instead of being a man about it, going fix his own plate, he badmouths his parents, which I do a lot better than he does anyways, and then he runs to his fucking room.
Like a bitch.
Well, he's lost. I mean, the white phenom.
I'm going to be.
Yeah,
finally, you say it, Steve. You finally said it.
I'm calling him the white phenom.
I called him the white phenom first. So
you did. And we have some experience with white phenom, so we know what we're talking about.
I wondered, is he going to get a cease and desist?
I'm telling you what, if you look at it really hard from perspective, that white phenom and this white phenom are very similar in what they are trying to do.
I pray to God they're not that similar. I like Rocket Pro. I like working at Rocket Pro.
We like Crash Tested too, and how'd that work out for us?
And maybe just me, but when I look at the picture that Rian has up with his jacket, he kind of reminds me of the White Ranger.
He is the white phenom.
And I have got that vibe too.
Yeah.
But
it's the after, it's the post-match stuff that kind of intrigued me more. Sorry to interrupt you, Red. But it's the stuff that happened afterwards. That kind of intrigued me more than his fucking match, because I'm still not quite understanding exactly what officially has happened, but Shelly went in there after the matchup and told him flat out that they put her ownership and Bill's ownership collectively and gave it to Nuke. So is Nuke officially the 2/3 owner? Is that a temporary thing? Is that an official thing? Because
he is the majority owner of Rocket Pro Wrestling.
Yeah, that's what my sources have told me that now
Okay.
Do we have the same sources?
No, hell no. So and it's not it's from what I'm told, it's 33 and a third. So Nuke now has 66.6 uh control over Maximus 33.3. And he so anything Maximus thinks he can do as owner uh is fire anybody or whatever. Nuke now has, the power to veto, or he doesn't Nuke doesn't have to answer to anybody. Nuke now
Yeah.
more or less runs and owns the show. And I think this is good in a sense that the Shelleys can take a back. Um, and it's gonna sound twisted in a sense, but they can focus on uh, what the fuck happened. You know, as a parent, you always wonder when your child doesn't go the way that you have taught them. Because let's be honest, and I get where you come from, Travis. I totally do. But as a parent, you can only you can raise your kid right. You can do everything right. Ultimately, it's about choices, and when they make those choices, um, as a parent, you sit back and you say, "What the fuck happened? Where did we fucking go wrong?" And it doesn't necessarily have to be on the parent. It can just be the child saying, "Fuck it, I'm gonna do what I want to do." I'm gonna be honest. As a kid, I hated it here. Oh my God, I hated it with a fucking passion. But I was that kid that everybody, oh, he's so nice, he's so respectful. He's yeah. And when I got to my last year in high school, fuck that. I'm out of this motherfucker. Like I was that kid out on the weekend. I left Friday morning for school. I came back Sunday morning. Like I'm out. I'm out here in these streets. So and it wasn't that my parents did. It was like for me, it was just, you know what, it was my time to rebel, Uh and I think with Maximus, like you said, I think pretty much he's had a sweet life. You know what I'm saying? And now he's more or less think about it. You heard the comments he told his dad. Like, what the fuck? When's the last time you stood up against your own family and defended mom? Like, let's be honest, we didn't need to know that shit, but here's Maximus putting out their fucking dirty laundry for everybody. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, wow. So he's becoming the asshole brat, and
He's a trust fund baby.
I'm gonna be honest. I was happy to see his ass laid out. The bad part, I had no idea because I needed to I went and purchased tickets for the raffle. and then and then went outside to have a smoke. And I come back and I'm like, why is Maximus laid out still in the fucking ring? Like he's out.
Yeah.
And the next thing I know, Michael Allen is on the PA system telling people to that we needed some assistance getting the trash out the ring. And I'm like, oh shit, damn, he's fucking cold out. So I enjoyed it, but I must admit, to circle the wagon back to where Steve wanted to start this shit. The Gunner Quintero match, I loved it. Like that, outside of Shaq's long ass explanation, which I really didn't fucking need. And I love Shaq, but when you're wrong, and then you fucking you talk for like almost 7 minutes. Like, shut the fuck up. Either you gonna man the fuck up and fight this man, or you're not. It's one or the other. It's not. I mean, clearly we understood. Okay, you took his shit. So, you know, and I remember there was a few times in the back, I'm watching Gunner walk back, like where I sit my shit, and he's lifting up shit under the table, looking under, and I had no idea what he was looking for, you know, and I'm not gonna ask. I'm just like, oh, okay, he's looking for something, clearly. And who's the fuck to know that it was Shaq that it took his shit? You know, and it's like, that's a dick move. Like,
And Gunner had to fight in street clothes.
Yeah, but my thing is, that's a dick move. Like, are you really equating Gunner's ability in the ring with what he wears in the ring? Like, is Superman not gonna be Superman if he doesn't wear the blue and the red? Like, no, he's still fucking Superman. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, come on. Like, so, like, Shaq, where's your fucking thinking at? Like, like, bro, you know, you're a Timu Rock, okay? Stop it.
He was one fanny pack away, bro.
Dude, that's it. All he needed was a fatty pack.
Right?
That
turtleneck, chain, all of it, bro.
That's all he needed.
Yeah.
And, you know, we'd have been like, we smell what the Shaq is cooking, you know. But it's like, oh my fucking God. But Quintero, for his debut, did a phenomenal job. Gunner, with all the fucking bullshit, they put on a clinic. If I feel sorry for anybody that didn't show up to Joliet on Saturday, because there was pure wrestling going on in that building. And I mean, we expected it from the main, but I think because of the main, everybody realized we can't fucking, like, tonight we can't phone this shit in. We can't. You know, it's too many people with their eyes on us. And from the start of the show to the end, everybody fucking knocked this shit out of the park.
I mean, all the matches. I mean, the tag team match for the tag team titles, it had an unexpected conclusion for a couple of reasons. Number one, we never saw the Undeniables entrance, Aaron Arsenal and the Ripper Victor Wade walking away from that match with the titles, but maybe we should have. We never expected.
But should we?
I don't know.
Let's be honest. Crazy Nuts is pissed off because this is where I'm getting tired of saying, and I know Turtle can agree. Because again, here's a situation where, guess what? You fucking lost last month. It doesn't fucking matter who you lost to or with. You lost. You fucking lost. I mean, if that's the case, then fuck it. Me and Pax can go say, hey, guess what? We fucking won a year ago. We deserve a title shot. I'm just saying. But Crazy Nuts shows up. Oh, I got a new partner. And we should, as you stated, Steve, we should have known that fucking bullshit right then and there, right? We should have known. Okay, but no problem. You know, I know he hates anytime we give him kudos.
Absolutely despises it.
But Rion and Skylar were holding their fucking own.
I thought they were going to win.
If this was a tag team versus tag team, just one team versus another, they had I like to say they had a 90% chance of winning.
They had a plan.
They went in there knowing what to do. What fucked that up is when you throw in another fucking team. And like I said on commentary, think about it. When you plan for your opponents, you've got, guess what? This is who we're facing. What is our game plan? And that's the plan that you go out. Now, here's some fucking other two ass clowns that come out. What the fuck? Now you've got to kind of keep that plan, but at the same time, you got to deal with two other ass hats. Like, what the fuck? Like, no. And let's be honest, outside of the fucking tag titles being fucking stolen, because that's how I feel.
Yep.
Again, now that and did I not predict it, Steve, that the Undeniable were not gonna be happy till they got all the fucking goddamn
Right,
belts.
and they got all of them now.
Yep.
That's for damn sure.
But then all of a sudden, what the fuck, Ringmaster? You shit on one of the most fierce competitors out here?
They chased Sinister out of the building, which I never saw coming.
I don't even think it wasn't Chase. Because Chase is when somebody chases you. He fired him, and Sinister got pissed, like, fuck you, and left. But you put it all, like, here's my thing, and I've been a manager of tag teams, of course. When you lose as a team. You don't put one blame on one person.
And they did.
And that was shitty to turn around and put it all on Sinister. Like, what?
I mean, Sinister is an icon, right?
I would say so.
Right? A well-known icon.
And I get it. Yeah. He wasn't one of the original three. But guess what? When you asked him to fucking join the three rings, guess what? He did it. When, let's be honest, it was Sinister with Machine that helped beat the final level. I don't see Ringmaster getting his ass in there doing it.
No, he's too busy wrecking commentary, but that's neither here nor there. I think Sinister will be back. An icon like that is never silenced, and he might be back. He might come back in greater numbers. We don't know what to expect from that man, but it'll be fun.
But from what Ringmaster said, is he controls Sinister's contract at Rocket Pro, so I don't think Sinister's allowed back at Rocket Pro Wrestling, at least legally, I guess.
Unless he allows it.
We can't see Sinister again. You're right. Sinister is property of the three rings.
Yeah.
So we probably won't see Sinister.
Yeah, and it's an unfortunate. I'm sorry, but I mean,
however, there are loopholes.
Oh yeah, but I mean, how many of us are gonna get hit in the junk, get rolled up, and be able to kick out of it? I'm sorry. Once you get the wind knocked out of you from being hit in the junk, and then you get constricted to the point where you can't breathe, even the biggest dude's not gonna be able to fucking get out of that shit. I mean, it sucks, you know. And yeah, that's just on top of that. And the weird thing is, and that's why what made this show great is like that's not even the most messed up thing to happen all night. You're still looking at a mother versus son next month. You're looking at Loser Leave Town the month after that. There's so much more that was happening within this. It could be hours long. Luckily they put the stuff out on YouTube that you can see it, but it's just insane how somebody gets fired from their job, and that's not the most messed up thing of the night.
Yeah, the messed up that we got craziness in that open challenge match where Steve Michaels came out feeling pretty good about himself, only to be called to the carpet not only by the Ghostbusters, so we thought the Windy City Ghostbusters, but Shogun Chris Logan answering the open challenge. And
with the Ghostbusters
went to hell in a handcart. Well, the Ghostbusters, you can't really blame them too much. Steve Michaels is a Windy City Ghostbuster, so they're not gonna sabotage their boy, and they didn't really sabotage Chris Logan. It just was some shit. Somebody got a hold of a PK.
Undeniable bullshit.
It was the undeniable bullshit, no doubt about it.
Because let's be honest, we all saw Steve's post to us about how much they raised. And I guarantee you, in all that money that was raised, there was a check with Damian Saint's name on it in the fucking box. I guarantee you. I guarantee it. And I guarantee you, hey, you guys just ride with us. Guess what? This nice little check will be put in your piggy bank to give to the little kids, and the law will be at a hospital. And sure enough as shit, they screwed over fucking Logan. And, you know,
I'm not going to put too much heat on the Windy City Ghostbusters. They were doing
not,
their job, and that is what it is. But the compelling thing isn't that. The compelling part is what happened after that, with the arrival of Grin, your favorite.
No, because guess what?
What the actual fuck?
Travis, you have heard me say it before. Because Steve clearly doesn't fucking listen. I've said it for months. I've said it. Everybody loves, oh, it's Grin. It's Grin. No, I've been around this fucking business to know how fucking sadistic he fucking really is. Everybody thinks it's a fucking joke. Everybody, because he paints a smile on his fucking face, they think, yes, it's no. Grin is a fucking sadistic asshole. I'm saying it. And I've been saying it for months.
I think the first time I ever heard about Grin, I think it was a Rocket Pro show. He threw Marche in a coffin.
Well, that's when it was heel Marche. That was heel Marche.
Yeah, but he still did it. I mean,
well, it was a casket match. That's what you have to do.
But still, I mean, come on now, dude.
If you and I had a casket match, I'd have to throw your ass in a casket.
And I think you'd be pretty messed up to take that opportunity. I'm just saying. I mean, yeah, normal people don't do that.
Right.
It's just how it works. And how much did that mess up Marche? Even over at CSW, we talked about it. He took that shit over to CSW and still messed him up.
Hey, Kevin, if you're watching, I think Travis and I should have a casket match.
I wouldn't.
Balls next year.
I'm busy that day. I like sitting behind my keyboard and my skirt. So
all I'm saying is for months, Steve and even Shelly and the fans have fallen to this bullshit that I've been saying. And it's not so much as I'm scared. It is the simple fact I know the fucking real Grin. And I want people to understand, guess what? All this happy and bounce, like what sadistic bastard fucking says, let me free your mind? Motherfucker, my mind is already free. This ain't the 1800s. I ain't walking around in fucking chains. What the fuck?
Hey, man,
I can think for myself. That's what this country is about. Thinking for myself, whether they're good choices or bad choices. I have a brain that I can use. Guess what? I don't need your orange and green ass to fucking let me free your mind. I don't need that shit.
I think the last person that said that to anybody, I think he ran a cult and his last name was Manson. You know,
but clearly now, Ivan Manson.
Clearly now, it's fucking Ringmaster.
Yeah, listen. When the Three Rings showed up, nobody was going to look at them like, oh, they're going to be the heroes in the story. Grin is no different. And I never thought that you were afraid of the person. I always thought you were afraid of the action. You know,
because I know what the fuck he's capable of.
Yeah.
Dude, I have watched this dude decimate people to the point where guess what? They no longer come back. Yeah. They don't want to deal with that bullshit. Like when you sign up to wrestle or you train and you go and you do every fucking thing that's asked of you and you fucking finally get a match and you're like, oh, I get to wrestle someone known like Grin, and he fucking takes liberties on your ass to the point where now you say, fuck this, I'm done. What kind of bullshit is that? And I'm not talking about not only during the match, but I'm talking about after the match. Doing shit that's so despicable that I've watched little kids cringe in their parents' arm because they don't want to see this bullshit.
Yeah, voodoo dolls are pretty messed up, no doubt about that.
It found its way to the table.
It did indeed. But the night was quickly rescued by the reason we're all here tonight. We said his name, and he appeared. Joe Hendry and Marche Rocket was a work of art. There's no other way to describe it. The energy of the crowd, the level of skill in the match, the entertainment level, the way everything worked out. We were talking about the chop heard around the world that I hope we got a clear picture of Joe Hendry's reaction. Everything leading up to that moment in time set that moment in time to be what it was, a perfect moment in time. It is Rocket Pro Wrestling's benchmark moment. And there's going to have to be a spectacular occurrence down the road to make something else supplant this as the moment that I will always think about when I remember Rocket Pro Wrestling. This is the signature match. This will be out there on YouTube, and many people will watch it, and they will realize what we have known for a long time, that Marche Rocket is one of the most unrecognized major talent that is undervalued in this sport. And the clinic that he and Joe Hendry put on was nothing short of amazing. We had a great time calling it. The fans had a great time watching it. And then after the match was done, they got a standing ovation. And then Joe Hendry gave flowers not only to Marche Rocket that were well-deserved, but gave flowers to the organization that is Rocket Pro Wrestling. It could not have been a better moment for the company. We all stood and applauded. Everybody stood and applauded. And after the show was over, the buzz was tangible. That's why we do this. And that's what Joe Hendry said. This is what's great about professional wrestling. It captured everybody's imagination and was an absolute home run. Will they call it a 5-star match?
I say 6-star.
I don't know if you weren't there. I mean, if you're there, you're going to give it 10 stars because of the electricity in that room. There are people smarter than me that will say things, well, they didn't do this, they didn't do that. It can't be a 5-star match. To those people, I say, fuck you. You weren't there, you don't know. You will see it, you will hear it, maybe you will feel it, but for everybody, the 500 plus in that building, nobody walked out of that building without feeling like they had just seen something special. And that's all we can ask for. Congratulations to Marche Rocket getting some well-deserved flowers. Congratulations to Joe Hendry for just being a great performer and a good man. What a night for Rocket Pro Wrestling. What a match. Can't say anything better than that.
I can finally admit I didn't know what all this fucking buzz was about. I don't watch TNA. I've seen his face on this post or that post. I didn't get it. I really didn't get it.
We get it now.
Oh my God, to watch. First of all,
are you saying, Red, that you believe in Joe Hendry?
Oh, fuck no. I believe in Marche Rocket. But to watch 500 and something people lose their shit over a guy that just turns around and gives a, like, I had to sit there like, this shit is real. Like, this is fucking real. Like, oh shit. And then to watch his wrestling ability, I'm gonna be honest, I was impressed. I was highly impressed. I mean, I already know you gotta be on your shit to be in TNA. But it was like, oh shit, this shit is fucking great. So again, for me, I ain't gonna say I'm a fan, but I well respect Joe Henry now. And
are you gonna feel differently in January when you hear that music and that clap happens at the Royal Rumble?
That's if it happens. I mean, rumors are rumors. Again, Steve, if we keep going off your sources, we all gonna be fucked. Shit, if we go off your sources, I'm gonna be in the fucking Rumble. And
it's the same
my
shit for the last 7 years, man. Same shit for the last 7 years. So he's been feeding you from my show, bro.
I don't know where he got these sources. We need to double check this shit.
It's probably fucking Pac-Man.
But I'm gonna be again. You know when you work a show, sometimes you leave and you're like, we did a good job tonight. Okay. No, like I fucking believe that we as a company, from all of us at commentary, security, even concession, everybody,
Production.
Production. Well, production is always top notch, but everybody just fucking stepped up and knocked it out the park. And I'm going to say this publicly. Travis, like, it was such an honor and a privilege to sit next to you. There was like that felt so right, if I can say that. Like it just felt like we knew what the fuck we were watching and what we were doing, whether we had different opinions about it or different takes. It just felt good to have a even flow at commentary. A lot of times it's right. It's just us. It's me and Steve, and then we look over and the other guy just, yep. Like he never said shit until the undeniables come the fuck out. And it's like, now's the time you should shut the fuck up. You know. But he doesn't. So
well done, Travis.
Wow.
Right, Travis, you did an awesome job Saturday night, and I thank you. You made our jobs.
Even though Shelly hates you, you did a fine job.
I appreciate it. It's definitely a learning experience when you have a 4-man team, and when you're the lead commentator at another company, you got to melt. And obviously in October, we didn't really melt, the shit got done. But yes, I think this month worked a lot better. Next month is going to be interesting because, again, with Shelly in the matchup, I don't know if she's going to be at ringside. Last time she may have vented, she wasn't there all night. So either next month when I'm there, because it's going to be my last contractual date for this season. If it's all 4 of us, I think it's going to be just as good as this one. And I agree with what you said about the show. Everyone showed up and they showed out. And I think it was a necessity when it came to Rocket Pro Wrestling because, and again, this is just my opinion as a wrestling fan, the whole reason you bring Joe Hendry in is because you want to get that fucking crowd in there. And he could do it, but that crowd's only going to stay if the additional talent and everyone else shows out. And I think they did that with all the matches that they had. Wrestling-wise, Quintero's match was the best wrestling match of the night for me. But that main event is what is going to be remembered from that entire show. And that is because of Marcy Rocket and, Joe Hendry. And I know I made the joke on commentary to Shelly saying, you got to pick one. Who's winning? You got to pick one. In all honesty, Joliet fucking won that night. Everyone who
100%.
bought a ticket, everyone who paid the money, they got what they wanted. They got their money's worth. Everyone, I think, left happy. There was no issues that you guys had the previous month, and all that stuff. Everything just seemed to click. And that's a fantastic night for everybody. So I do appreciate what you said, Red. And like you said, it was a pleasure working with you guys. It was just a good night. I was able to be me, and we didn't have to have an argument or dispute about it.
Nope.
So, it worked out. I think everything was great.
Very
even
cool.
though I'm like, everyone clicked.
I agree. And the funny part is when you sit back, I think both of y'all drinking at the same time. What the hell? Y'all twins?
You said it's the funny part.
Oh, okay. Ha ha.
You invented that shit.
I know. You brought up a good point, Travis, because me and Steve, I don't think Turtle was there. He might have been. But I remember one huge show at one company, and the Soul Touchers were on third, and it was 8 matches. And after we got done, like we got undressed, and then there was intermission. During intermission, that's when the 3 stars went out to sign autographs and take pictures. Dude, if you could see how many motherfuckers got shit signed or took pictures and then left, they didn't give a fuck about the rest of the show. Yep. And I was like, to go back for the 5th match after intermission and watch.
There were like 25 people left.
Even the fucking front row, like people that bought front row tickets were gone.
For the most part, yeah.
And the logic is Joe Hendry did the signing from 2 to 4. So everybody that wanted the shit signed didn't have to stay for the show. Yeah. And we had the biggest crowd we've ever had.
And that's all on everybody. That every person sat their ass there from beginning when Steve walked his ass out there to the very end when the show was over and Marche walked to the back and Michael Allen said, "Thank you. See you next month. Good night." Like, I don't know if anybody ever pays attention. Normally, main event is over. People start walking to the door. Nobody did that shit this month.
No.
Everybody stayed till the lights came on and it was completely done. And it was like, kudos to every fucking body at Rocket Pro. You put your ass in it this month.
I think I'm happy for the Shelleys. They deserve it. They are good people running a good product, and they deserve the win, and they got it. And we'll see how we can carry that over into January with resolution. All right, this show has gone on too damn long, so now we got a rapid fire CSW and Frontline Pro.
So when you brought me on, I don't apologize for it.
Nope, I'm not going to ask you to apologize because it's been good.
I think the last time I was on here, you bitched to me about the Bill Classic going too long on the results there too. So it's whatever.
Well, we're all right with it. We're all right with it this time.
Yeah, it's content, brother. You're good.
CSW presents Love, Death, and Wrestling this Friday night, and yours truly is back in the crow's nest as general manager, as it should be. Right, Turtle?
Yeah, I'm right.
All right, so let's go over these matches. Turtle, I'll take one, you take the next one, and we'll just kind of go through them. We've got a TLC match, Quintero versus Iniestra. It's the final chapter in their story. Red, what do you think?
I can't call it. After watching Quintero Saturday, the dude even impressed me more than usual, and I refuse to pick that one, especially because you've already stated it's the last one. So I refuse to.
I feel like Quintero is going to have his moment, and but Iniestra is going to make it incredibly difficult. So I pick Quintero. What about you, Travis?
I'm going to go Quintero. I'm going to think he's going to ride the high from this past Saturday.
Nub?
Quintero.
PX.
For sure, Quintero.
We'll give Rion a moment. Rion, do you want to weigh in, or are you happy doing what you're doing? Rion's happy doing what he's doing, so we'll move along. Turtle, what's the next match?
In an interesting dynamic, Jay Marston versus Shane Boucher. Hatekeeper versus Hatekeeper, essentially, with special guest referee Shane Hollister. What were you thinking?
I have made it very, very clear. We're gonna wait before we go there. We're gonna say goodnight to Rion Skills, because Rion has been doing this show while being very sick. So, Rion, I had no idea. I'm so sorry. Please go get some rest. Thank you for being on.
Feel better, Rion.
He is the real deal. And not just Treon skills. Okay, so that's a good question, Turtle. When I left, the Hate Keepers had just started. Now they are like fungus. And the best way to rid them is to turn them on each other. So this is a very calculated situation. I hope it implodes and they all end up getting carried out of there. And that's what could happen. So very specifically crafted for very specific reasons. In the end, I think the fans win this match because they're all going to bleed and they're all going to be uncomfortable. What about you, C-Red?
I want everybody to fucking die.
Travis?
You say the name? I think I was coughing when you said the contenders. Which match is this one?
It's Boucher versus Hollis, or Boucher versus Marston with Shug Hollister as the special guest referee. It's an implosion of Hate Keepers.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm flushing the toilet, if you will.
I'm gonna go Boucher on it. I think out of all of them, to me, he's the best. I'm gonna go Boucher. Even though, yes, I guess they should all go down, but I'm gonna go Boucher.
Pax?
I'm gonna go Boucher.
I'm gonna go with the toilet flushing. So moving right along. The championship match.
You didn't ask Nubby.
Oh, I'm sorry, Nubby. Well, Nubby, I thought Nubby said it when we started.
No,
Okay, what's your pick, Nub?
I'm going with Boucher because Hollister's the referee.
Flush the toilet. Okay, moving on. We've got a championship match, the CSW Heavyweight Championship. Conan Lycan, the new champ, taking on the infamous Matt Cardona. I can't wait to see the unstoppable force meeting the immovable object. To me, on every logical plane of existence, Cardona should win this match, but not at Love, Death, and Wrestling. It is Lycan's house. It is Lycan's building, and Lycan will die in that ring before he will lose to Matt Cardona. So I am going to say Lycan all day. Nubby?
I'm going to have to say no contest because I think the Warhorse will be in the building and he's going to go after Lycan. And
so you're calling shenanigans.
I'm calling shenanigans and Lycan will still retain.
I'll tell you this, if Warhorse does intervene in this match, I might run it back in January as a triple threat. I have a plan. Red, what you say?
I would like to say Lycan. But we do know that Cardona has been known for going various places and taking titles. That is what he has built his post WWE career on. Just showing up and taking your fucking title and adding it to his collection. But I agree with Turtle. Shenanigans will happen. And don't think Warhorse is happy. You know, so I'm going to agree with Turtle with no contest, and you're gonna have to run it back. GM.
Travis?
I'm gonna go Lycan. He just got the belt back. I don't think he's ready to drop it yet. Shenanigans maybe, but at the end, I think the ultimate winner will be Lycan. He'll walk out with that title.
PX.
I think Lycan retains here. Pretty simple.
Turtle, what's next?
We have the tag team titles on the line in a fatal 4-way tag team match.
Oh, you know I love the fatal 4-ways, 5-ways, scrambles,
you love them all.
Get as many fuckers in the ring as you can. That's what I say.
Yeah. Brothers of Funstruction. There, I said it right for once.
You did. You didn't get it right this morning.
Yeah.
I said for once. Give me a break.
You Pac-Man that.
I did. They defend their titles against Drew Montgomery and Axel Rico. Joey Avalon Sierra, and Adam Stallion and the Unmasked Cypher. Holy shit. Steve.
What do you pick there, Nubs?
Well, with the change in attitude, I'm gonna go with Joey Avalon and Sierra. I think they get those titles back.
What about you, Travis T?
Well, I'm a religious man. I know what happened to Samson when you cut his hair. I think Avalon getting a haircut, it was a mistake, and I'm gonna think Funstruction retains their titles because of it. Huge fan of Avalon and Sierra, but yeah, he cut Samson's hair, he's useless. So
I'm gonna be sure I told him you said that.
let him know. Just let him know. He'll understand.
T-Red?
I'm going to agree with Travis T. Not about the haircut, but the brothers of Funstruction, they built their career on shenanigans. That's what they do. If you remember a few months ago, Marche went against Yabo, and it was all about shenanigans until he found out that the Soul Touchers were back as one unit. So he's got his brother Ruffo, and they've got those titles. I don't think they want to let them go. So they will pull out all the popcorn, all the whoopee cushions, all the loaded balloons, and they will find a way to. It doesn't matter who against. But I will say it'll probably, if I had to figure this out, it'd be against Cypher. Because Cypher is now unmasked, so he has no protection. So I can see a balloon loaded right in his face. And guess what? Just because you the biggest don't mean your face can't take a loaded balloon full of dust. So
Red picks the clowns. What about you, PX?
I'm gonna go with the Brothers of Funstruction.
Wow. Not a lot of window shopping here. I am going to go with Stallion and Cypher. I would think Sierra and Avalon would probably want to prove their point that this is embarrassing, but there's just something about the magic of Stallion and Cypher that I think is going to carry them to those titles. Because now that he's unmasked, he's a more focused individual. He doesn't have anything to fear. And I think that's going to make him very dangerous. So my pick is Stallion and Cypher. Next match. And what a match it is. You get Mighty Maggie Lee taking on new WWE superstar, the one and only Smiley Kylie Ray. This is going to be what I believe might be the match of the night. Kylie Ray is a next level performer. Maggie Lee is very close to being that next level performer. And I think this is that match where she hits that level. And I think it's going to be one of those matches that people talk about for a long time. And I think Maggie Lee, who has been on a roll, will find a way to get the win and beat Kylie Ray. And that place is going to go absolutely fucking crazy. Turtle?
I'm going to go with Maggie Lee just for the same reasons you just said. Kylie Ray is, is a top star, but Maggie Lee has a lot to prove. And I think she's going to prove that not only is she the next, I shouldn't say the next big thing, but I'm just going to say the next big thing, but this is CSW. This is her house. So Maggie Lee all the way.
Travis T.
I'm going Kylie Ray. I think she was recently announced as a WDID. I mean, come on, you get that for a reason, So I'm going to go Kylie Ray on. Nothing against Maggie Lee, though, but Kylie Ray, I'm going to go Kylie Ray on this one.
C-Red.
I'm going to go with Kylie.
And PX.
Smiling Kylie.
All right. We have a split vote. what's next, Pat? What's next, Turtle?
We have a tag team match. It will be Russ Hamilton and Hans Carden against Steve Boz and Marche Rocket.
There it is.
The Gentleman Crabs versus the All Day Superstars, huh?
Yep.
What do you say, Nub?
I'm gonna go with Hamilton and Carden. I mean, Boz hasn't had any good luck lately with Carden.
Harden made
And-
Harden made him tap.
Yeah, and Russ is another newcomer, but
Fucking
he's a
beast.
big guy and he's destroying everybody. And he may be able to destroy Boz and Marche.
Travis T.
I'm on Boz and Marche. I think Marche wants a little retribution from this past weekend. You know, regardless if it's two different companies, you're still gonna, have to recover from a loss. And I mean, C-Road to back me up. Marche's a big fucking dude. Boz is a legend. So 100% those two dudes.
I'm not even going to ask Red because I already know the answer. So there's no point. PX?
All Day in the Superstar. Real quick and easy answer there.
I tend to agree. It's a big show. It's a big match. And the big men have big moments in big matches. So I, too, will go with Boz and All Day Marche. Next match, triple threat for the women's championship. You've got Amina Belmont versus Holly Hood, Haley J from NWA, and our champion, Missa Kate. At the end of the show, or the end of their match, Hollywood interrupted the match and it gave Missa an opportunity to pin Amina Belmont. Mina not happy. Missa Kate doesn't trust anybody, and Hollywood is a crazy, crazy person. This match is nitroglycerin in a jar. It's going to explode, but it will explode in the direction of the champ. I think Missa Kate retains. Turtle, what say you?
I'm gonna go with Mr. Kate as well.
PX.
I'm gonna go with Hollywood Haley J. I've seen her work on
Holly Hood.
Holly Hood. What did I say?
Hollywood.
Pac-Man did.
It's not Hulk Hogan. Vastly different.
I Pac-Man that. Well, you know what I meant. You know what I meant. So
T-Red.
Beaumont.
Oh, what does Red know that we don't? What about you, Travis?
I'm gonna go Mr. Kate. I know more about her than I do the other two, and I think it's a safe bet for me to go that route. So
fair enough. Turtle, what's next?
Another triple threat match. Solomon Tupu taking on Gringo Loco and B-Boy.
Oh shit! This is the match I want to see. I hate y'all so much.
All right, Red, you start us.
You know how I feel about Uncle T. But y'all have brought in the wrong motherfucker. B-Boy is gonna fuck everybody up. Shit, you better pray to God that his blood ain't pumping and he just started fucking up everybody in every other fucking match. B-Boy is the man. He is somebody that I've long respected. He is somebody that I followed in IWA Mid-South, up close and personal. So if it was just Gringo and Uncle T, again, I still pick Uncle T. Gringo is awesome, but you bring that fucking violence, Steve. I hope y'all clearly have called it love, death, and wrestling, and in this match there will be death, or at least somebody coming close to it.
So Red is picking B-Boy. What about you, Turtle?
I'm going with B-Boy as well. I know about him just as much as C-Red does. IWA Mid-South. Yeah, he's a dangerous man. No doubt.
Yes.
Solomon Tupu.
Travis T.
I'm going Gringo. I mean, C-Red makes a good argument for it, but I was going to pick Gringo before he even said anything about B-Boys, so I'm going to trust my gut.
I, too, am going with Gringo Loco. I think he is fantastic. Uncle T, though, always finds a way somehow. But that's neither here nor there. Turtle, what we got left?
We actually have another tag team match. A Chicago street fight. FXB and Chris Miller taking on Eddie Grayson and Jack Valor.
What do you think, Turtle?
I'm gonna go with Grayson and Valor. FXB and Miller are not getting along. And Chris Miller has the biggest ego in the company.
Oh, you don't think I have an ulterior motive for Miller, do you?
Come on. You fired him twice.
Third time's a charm, baby. Travis T, what do you say?
I say this is probably the biggest Teddy Long match card I've ever seen with all these tag matches.
Holla, holla, holla.
Just wait.
Piss off C-Red.
That's the whole reason I said it. Just I know you don't like him, but I'm going to go with Miller. I'm going to go Team Miller on this one.
What do you got, C-Red?
Just to fucking piss you off, I am agreeing with Travis. You have fucked up because you have played right into Miller's hands. He loves using weapons. And if I'm correct, I might be wrong, but I don't think Grayson and Valor have a lot of knowledge and experience in street fights. And we know Miller don't fucking play fair. So,
All right.
Team Miller.
But you, Pax?
I'm gonna say Grayson and Valor.
I too am going to say Grayson and Valor because they fucked with his dad and now they get to use weapons on him. And Miller finds a way of beating himself. And who's to say Lily La Pescadita is not going to be there to fuck with Miller? So I'm going to go with the kids. Is that all our matches?
No, actually, one more popped up today.
Okay.
It's another tag match, right?
Well,
I bet
in a way, yes, it is a tag team, but it's a Windy City Tag Team Rumble where there's multiple tag teams.
Am I in it?
You could be.
There are some Pescaditas in it.
That's the boss. He's right here.
There's some blank spots there, so it might be.
Where's my bag?
I guess Red and Pax show up.
Hey, I'm available. So we got Big Mood, Shot of Juice, Machine 17, Steve said it, Lily Pescadita and Haven Harris are teaming up together. Eric Schultz and Officer Eldridge. That's funny. And Ryan Matthews and Jax Johnson. But there's some blank spots. So multiple teams are in this.
We got some surprises. Not fair to pick this match because y'all don't know who's all in it. But I can tell you what, there are some very interesting tag team combinations in this one. I think you're all going to be shocked to see what Lily and Haven bring to the table. So,
that's who I'm picking.
I'm not. Don't get to pick because we don't have all the components.
That's who I'm picking. I don't give a fuck who else.
What if it's Jazz and Trauma? What if it's Jazz and Trauma?
I'm still picking the winner.
What if I'm not bringing the Hunters back? What if it's Renee? What if it's Renee and Miles?
First of all, that'll never happen.
How you know? How you know?
You know how do I know? Because the GM is full of shit.
Ain't nobody gonna tell me how to live.
The GM is full of shit.
Maybe evil gains evil.
Maybe evil gains evil.
He ain't got that kind of money to fly
Right. You can't blow the whole wad first.
Hey, Amazon's giving $25.
Right. He already got Cardona. Like, shit.
Yeah, and 7 tag team matches. So yeah,
we're playing with house money in Elmwood Park. That's Friday night. Saturday night, we go up to the Great White North. It's Contact. Come on, Pax. Hurry up.
I got you. Working on it.
Let's start with the tag team match since we're doing that. Quinn Whittick and Shaq Jordan taking on Devon's children in TNT.
TNT.
Now, I have a question. Is Quinn part of the Rapture or not?
You'd have to ask Quinn. I don't know. For a moment he was, but he didn't show any allegiance at Freedom Cup. So he's an outside source. Quinn's kind of a mercenary. He's kind of a gun for hire. The highest bidder, I guess. That he can be whoever he wants to. Nobody can seem to tell Quinn who or what he is going to do. That's just the nature of who he is.
It was just a little shocking to me because I remember him joining, but then I also remember Ben screwing Shaq Jordan out of the title. So it was kind of weird.
That's a very Rapture moment because Shaq Jordan ended Quinn Lyttick's historic title reign as champion of Frontline Pro. And now they're going to team up against a very formidable tag team. I don't think Shaq and Quinn can coexist. So I think TNT comes in and does what they do. What do you say?
TNT.
Everybody, we're in agreement, right?
TNT.
Yeah.
And if you like tag team matches, then you'll love this one.
I bet.
In a tag team match.
It is another tag team match. It is for the Frontline Pro Champion, tag team champions, the Bro Bros, which means they will not be fight roughing at the HF Auditorium this Saturday night. They will be in Marshfield, Wisconsin, taking on the Rapture. The new Frontline Pro Tag Team Champions, the Bro Bros. Turtle?
I want to go with the Bro Bros, but I can't go against the Rapture in this one. They just won the titles.
You just want Ben to bring you up north. Fuck off.
He's got nothing for me to go after anymore. He's a loser. Fuck
Yeah,
that
he was
guy.
mean to my socks.
Hex, what about your socks? What do you say?
So I say it's definitely not going to be Ben McCoy. I'll tell you that much.
Well, he's not in that match, so that's probably a good thing.
Oh, the Bro Bros. Yeah,
Thanks,
probably the Bro Bros.
Thanks for playing, you moose twit. Travis.
You put the fucking card up.
My bad. That one's on me.
I'm not a fan of the Rapture, but they're gonna retain.
Red.
I love the Bro Bros, but no, Rapture.
But you're a fan of Aaron.
I love Aaron. I'm a big fan of Aaron Xavier. Aaron Angel. I love the sabotage and everything. Yeah, but they're not there anymore. Yes, I don't love the Rapture. I don't love Aaron being part of it, but they're gonna over the Bro Bros. Yeah.
Here is a match that should have the same impact that Marche and Hendry had Saturday night for Rocket Pro. You have Joey Jet Avalon taking on the very dangerous Mustafa Ali.
That's not till January.
He's right. That's not happening. That's on me. I went a little too far in my notes.
It's contagious, I guess.
Notes. I got Batman's notes. I meant Ben McCoy versus Adonis Allen. That's what I meant.
I swear, your sources, boy. Ooh,
Oh, we've got Ben McCoy, the leader of the Rapture, taking on Adonis Allen. It's a night of the Thundercat. Ben McCoy loses. What do you say, Turtle?
I'm going with Adonis Allen. Fuck Ben McCoy.
Yeah, he's mean to my socks.
Okay, so Pax
Not Ben McCoy. He just works there.
What about you, Travis?
I hate to do it, but I'm going to go with Ben McCoy.
Oh, you fucker.
Dude, he just lost that title last month. He kept it for a reason. His personality, his attitude's not going to change.
Owning a promotion and winning your own belt is so fucking carny. I can't stand it.
Name one company that hasn't done that.
I don't care. Carney Asada. Red, what say you?
I'm agree with Travis McCoy.
All right.
You gotta realize again, as much as we love Adonis, guess what? Ben is the seasoned veteran in here, and he is going to put that boy through the rankings because he is pissed that he lost his title. He is out to make a statement.
Do you remember Razor Ramon versus the 1-2-3 Kid?
Of course I do.
Anything can happen in that squared circle, brother.
Yeah, but Razor hadn't just lost no title. Razor wasn't pissed. Razor just underestimated the kid. This one, Ben is going out for fucking blood because he wants to prove that guess what? He hasn't lost the step.
He might be going out for blood, but he's not going for a title. Rockin' Rivera is going for a title against the new champion, Josh Price, in his first title defense. Josh Price is going to kill that boy. He's going to unbraid his hair with his fist. Josh Price wins in a walk. It's going to be quick. It's going to be Santino Marella quick. Turtle, what's that?
I don't know.
I don't think it'll be that quick because Rockin' is a tough individual. I've been in the ring with him. He couldn't beat me, but nonetheless, I'm still going to go with the champ because he just won the title and Rockin' Rivera hasn't done much to earn it anyway. So, yeah, Josh Price, winner.
Travis.
Was Rockin' Rivera an idol at one point?
He was.
Yeah.
Price.
For a cup of coffee.
Cup of coffee.
Cup of coffee in the big time.
Cup of coffee in the big time, yeah.
Cup of coffee in the big time.
yeah.
Cup of coffee in the big time.
God damn, this show has gone too fucking long. What about you, Red?
Price.
PX, I don't give a shit. Moving on. All the Way with Disco Ray, America's favorite talk show, will also feature Disco Ray interviewing the Godfather, our master of ceremonies. So that will be fun. This is Contact. It is happening this Saturday in Marshfield, Wisconsin. It's going to be a great show. Ground Zero is going to be great too. I think I might have just spoiled that. So we'll have to go find that way to edit that in post.
No, I think they announced it.
It's common knowledge.
Yeah, it's
common
announced.
knowledge.
It's announced.
Yeah,
out
it's
there.
out there.
I thought I did a Marvel spoiler, so I was a little nervous.
No, that's posted out there somewhere. It should
No,
be too.
it is. It's posted, and I'm still picking Ali.
All right. I want to thank Drew Bronson for joining us. Thanks to Cactus Rack for talking knockouts with us. Thanks to Travis, Nubby, and PX from the JFW podcast for showing up tonight. Thanks to Rian for doing yeoman's work while ill. Thanks as always to my creative partner, C Red. Next week on this show, not exactly sure what's going to happen, but it is going to be our season finale. It is the Christmas Spectacular. We'll see. We've got some things happening maybe that will happen. I'm not going to reveal it just yet, but ought to be spirited. It's the last show of the season. Season finales can tend to be pretty cool. So thanks to everybody who watched. Sorry this was so fucking long. My God, over 3 hours. That's insane. Nobody's watching this shit. Thank you.
I'm gonna watch this shit.
We'll see you. Appreciate you. If you watch it 3 hours, it's longer than fucking Raw was. Good night, everybody. We'll see you on Netflix.